Episode
Yes,
10.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
10
Ten,
million. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
ten, 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 ten. I was counting down, but only
Just keep going.
10.
10. 10.
Counting
Again.
down, but only in tens.
Again. 10.
10. 10. 10.
Funny enough, Yuri Lowenthal, the voice of Spider-Man, is the voice of Ben 10. There you go.
10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10.
Beautiful.
Oh no, there's a new Keith Crew video. I guess we'll watch that after this.
Yeah, we'll watch it. It was the Steve video for my
Yeah, I saw
Steve in Minecraft.
I saw his reaction to it
In
watching
Minecraft
it.
in Super Smash.
I watched his stream during that actually. Funny enough, because I knew it was happening, and I like threw him up.
Why?
Your bit rate's too high? Is that
Yeah,
really
it says
an
my
issue?
stream is unstable. Average stream bit rate too high. What the heck does that mean?
Is your internet too good?
Okay, I guess it'll
boy.
fix itself. I never really seen that issue before, but it'll fix itself, I'm assuming.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
You
I'm
never
hoping.
know.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Excellent. There we go. Now it fixed. Nice. All right. Everybody good?
Yeah, we're up.
We are up. We are broadcasting, and once again, we are with you, all of our millions and millions of fans, viewers, subscribers, and all that wonderfulness. Crafting a chat with Adam, Genesis, and your boy, Giuseppe Jones. We are crafting for you, for the love of the game. For the love of the game. So, hey, what's everyone playing?
Ooh, I'll go first this time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do it.
So as we were talking before, Adam had said I was not on a place. I didn't realize it was like 6 days. I thought it was like less than that. I was like, oh,
It's
maybe
like
the weekend.
5 or 6. I don't know.
Small hiatus.
I went back to Among Us, and I actually have been watching a couple of streamers play Phasmophobia, and I wish this game would come to PlayStation or at least consoles in general. This game is so much fun looking. That was incorrect English, I know that. The premise of the game is you basically are ghost hunters, but they did this so well, and I think it's only one dude who actually is working on this game. I can't confirm that. I will confirm it later and fact check myself, but I believe it's one dude who worked on this game, and the game is not like, it doesn't look like some graphically amazing game, but the audio in the game is amazing because you have push to talk and you have like actual proximity audio. So like if let's say we're exploring a house and you're upstairs and I'm downstairs and you're yelling upstairs like, hey, I don't see anything, I hear you as if like you're a floor above me. Like that, the audio in that game is amazing. Whatever driver or whatever system he's using for the audio, it's great. The game's actually pretty scary. It's not like your generic horror game. It's actually really scary because it has that atmosphere. It's you and your friends are just trying to see if a ghost is in the house or not and find proof of if the ghost is there using like a thermometer, the EMF scanner. Is that the correct terminology?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And then like other things like crucifix and smudge sticks and you put down a book and it'll write in the book. There's sometimes poltergeists. There's different types of ghosts. You can go to an asylum, a small house, or a high school, and things like that. It's crazy. It's great. I seen that. I downloaded it on the computer. I don't have anybody to play with, obviously, on there. I just wanted to see what it was like. But I've been watching a couple of people play that, and I played it, I think, once. Like I said, there's not anybody that I have to play with.
Now
on
you-
it, so.
But you had an interesting
computer?
comment.
What?
You don't have anyone to play with on a computer?
No,
that what you're
not
saying?
really. No. Yeah.
It's funny how you don't know anybody else with a computer.
Oh yeah. I forgot you have one built at home.
I have a built computer. Yeah, I do.
It's built. It's that manly one. It's built.
I want to get back to this comment that you had regarding saying that it wasn't a generic scary game.
So
kind of sounds like it is.
it's not relying on like jump scares or anything like that. I mean, you get jump scared in the game, but most of the like, okay, let's say there was a one round where the three of us went in, where all we're doing is looking for signs of this ghost being there. With like, we have a radio in our hand, and you ask, so you can communicate with the ghost. This is, I think, this is the differentiating factor in this.
Okay.
So whatever you say, you can actually communicate with this ghost. The more you say its name, the more aggressive it becomes. It'll start appearing in front of you, chasing you down, walking around the house, trying to grab you and basically kill you. So your teammates and yourself, everybody can get killed in the game. When you get killed, you turn into a ghost yourself, and then you can be in the same realm that this ghost is in, and like you can see it walking around the house, throwing random things like that. Like you're given all this amateur gear, like the camera, the tripod, this radio to detect like noise and speaking from the ghost. So like you can ask the ghost like, hey, how did you die? And it'll try and explain like how it did, like through like singular words, like kitchen, killed, knife, things like it'll slowly explain it to you. And then when it does react based on how your team is in the house. You also have, I think, on certain difficulties a time limit, and certain difficulties you don't have a time limit before it gets aggroed.
So it's like a puzzle game, right?
Yeah, because you're trying
a ghost hunting game.
It's a ghost hunting game.
But how do you catch the ghost, though? You don't have proton packs.
Right, so you don't have to I don't think you catch it. I've never seen somebody catch it, because I don't think you can like dispel the ghost. You just have to make sure you get enough proof that you can prove what type of ghost it is, fulfill optional objectives, and then head back to your truck and then go back with all the proof and earn money from it. And then when you earn money and experience, you unlock bigger maps, more ghosts, different types of ghosts, and different equipment to then record those ghosts. Like I've seen, like they have head cams, thermo cameras where they can see like the changes in temperature like live, instead of having to constantly like shoot a thermometer and just seeing inaccurate temperatures all the time.
So it's ghost hunting, but Pokemon Snap?
Yeah, because actually you can take a picture of the ghost. Yeah, I don't think taking a picture of the ghost is gonna earn you like the okay or like the complete, but it helps in getting more money when you're trying to prove that ghost is there. I don't know. Look it up. It's interesting. I saw it a couple times and then I got hooked on it. I was like, oh damn, this is a lot of fun.
And what's
a
it
lot
called
of the
again?
bigger Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia. Gotcha.
It sounds like a VR game.
It can be played in VR. So Oculus can work. Yeah, I would love to do that in VR, man. That would be insane.
Ghost
Bring it
facers.
to PlayStation.
I really wish they could come to PlayStation. I would love to play that game. That would be amazing. But yeah, that's what I'm playing. And I got back in Ghost today. So.
Ghost.
And I can't wait for Ghost. I can't wait for the Legends update coming. I need to.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that later. Oops.
Whoopsies.
It's been a long week. So.
Adam, what are you playing?
You know what? No, just have you go next.
Oh, well, then I'll go next. As of last week, I definitely got, just to reiterate, I got bored severely with Dishonored 2, and I decided to discontinue that double quick, and it led me right back into the loving embrace of Bloodborne, and I played that for a while. I
saw there was an error with that game, and it was free for like 2 days, I think, or not even 2 days, a day. Yeah. It was free on PlayStation.
That was like some kind of a funky, glitchy thing. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit.
They're probably preparing for the Plus titles. Well, continue.
Right, yeah. And I was actually quite thankful to see the updated list of the PlayStation Plus free offer games that were coming for October. Dropped today. I was really excited about Vampire. It was a game that had piqued my interest when it had originally came out, but the screenshots that I saw and the videos that were released, it never motivated me to ever want to spend anywhere close to full price for that game, and it's never really dropped in price so terribly much that it would be like, oh wow, I gotta jump in on this. Because, I like supernatural type entertainment, ghosts, goblins, vampires, werewolves, all that fun jazz. But I just I don't really get as much as I'd like in video games. There's plenty of that in TV and films. So yeah, I looked at Vampire. Was really happy to download that, and I had a chance to play a little bit of it today. Kind of jumps you into the narrative like in a janky way, in a way that's like not typical of that style of like a Victorian era, turn of the century kind of period piece tied to that kind of mythology. So I was like, okay. So I'm giving the story a little bit of a chance, but I like the whole character interactions, talking with characters, dialogue, trees and finding clues, and it's an interesting mechanic that they've introduced in the beginning. The whole finding things about everybody in certain districts of London, where when you find out more details about these named NPC characters, it enhances their blood value if you at some point choose to send them off from this mortal coil and decide to level up by murdering NPCs. It's definitely the shortcut to success in that game. But doing all these things, finding out all this information, kind of enhances that that process, the whole leveling RPG aspect of the game, and I find that to be very interesting. A little bit of a different take on RPG progression in like an action-based game. Not super thrilled with the controls, a little janky, but still tolerable. You can still work with it. Not the most responsive so far, but maybe I'll just simply get used to it a little bit more. But yeah, Vampire. Yeah, I'm glad it was free. Definitely wouldn't pay more than $10-15 for it if I had to. But I'm glad I don't have to.
Free, man. Free's good.
Free's
Free
good.
is good. Can't agree.
Was that a high budget game and it originally was going to come out, or was that made
I don't
by, like,
believe
a
so.
low-budget
I believe that was a mid-tier budget game. I don't believe it had big. I don't believe anyone was talking AAA about that.
Got a sequel coming out.
Really?
Yeah,
must have-
that's
I'm
what
pretty sure it's a
Vampire the
what?
Masquerade. It's been delayed.
Yes.
It was supposed to come out this year. It was delayed until
That's right.
next year, I think. I don't even know if they gave a date for the delay.
Yeah.
So, and I'm pretty sure that I read that it's Don't Not Entertainment, the people who made Life is Strange. I think I mentioned that yesterday to Giuseppe.
Yes, you did.
Okay,
You
cool.
did.
I thought I was losing my mind. I don't know if that happened in a dream or in real life.
No. That really happened. You got it. You got
Good.
this.
That's the kind of week I'm having.
Nah, it's all good. Well, what else were you playing on your week to kind of like?
Oh, I
Give you
like
that
a good
confusion.
transition.
That's right.
I
Segue.
finally got my my 7 days in Jeopardy. Finally played for 7 days in a row.
Ooh.
Got that trophy. Deleted that game right quick. And then didn't play anything for a few days. And then just a few days ago, I was looking. I've been going through my Plus collection. Like, let me look at my library. It's coming to the end of the generation. Yeah, it's my backlog, I guess. It's just I have all these games from way back when. Like, let me just take a look. So I looked. I downloaded The Crew. I played that
Okay.
for a bit. Didn't played it for like 20 minutes. And I was like, yeah, this is not for me. I'm more of a now I'm not really an arcade racer type of person. I'm more of a simulation racer, but not like to the point of like a Gran Turismo. Though I am curious about the new Gran Turismo. I'm thinking about getting that, but we'll see as we get
You were
closer.
saying
to
you wanted some sort of racing game because that was
Yeah, and now for Plus we got Need for Speed Payback, so I'll give that a shot. But I haven't downloaded that yet. I played Genshin Impact, downloaded that on my second account because I didn't want the trophies. Played a little bit of that. It's pretty good. But no, I said Genshin Impact, and my phone thought I called for it. I did not. All right, fun. Played a little bit of that. Played for about maybe like 2 hours or so. Got pretty good ways into it. And then I was like, this is not a game for me, and I don't want to dedicate as much time as this game wants me to dedicate. So I stopped playing that. I also, my second account is an account based in England, So it's an MMO. I'm region locked basically, so I can't play with any of my American friends, which is
Right,
both you
Adam's
boys.
originally from
But
England for all the fans who love Adam. He's originally from
good
England.
A. Oh, that's not. Well, anyways, and then recently I actually downloaded Deus Ex: Mankind Divided.
Oh yeah.
It's a sequel to Human Revolution, if I'm not mistaken. Um, it gave a lot of exposition in the beginning. Giuseppe was kind enough to watch me play it and do a fantastic job and never make any mistakes,
Right.
as
Yeah.
I
Yep.
did.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I played a little bit more today. I just beat. I got rid of. I'm early in the game still, so I got rid of Drahomir.
Oh, you did. Okay.
I'm
Good.
I'm playing as a pacifist. I
Oh,
haven't
you
killed
are.
anyone yet. Yeah, I'm still playing as a
Oh.
pacifist. Haven't killed
Okay.
anybody yet. I was like, this Drahomir guy sucks, and I want to kill him for that
Uh huh.
golden ticket mission.
Yes. Yes.
And every time I was like, how do I kill him? And I was like, okay, I can report him, but then it doesn't tell me where to go to report him. So I literally just ran around talking to every cop I saw. And then this one lady, all of a sudden it started a cutscene. I was like, oh my god, I think I found it. And then she was like, I hate that guy. And then they all killed him. So I didn't kill him, so I'm still a pacifist.
There you
So
go.
I'm still heading to get my augments fixed and all that, and get that done. But I'm enjoying the game. I'm playing that on my second account. I'm not going for the trophies. I'm just trying to. For some reason, I just felt like playing it as a pacifist. I don't know why. Um,
Well, I mean, that is, I believe it is definitely the way the game was meant to be played. But I mean, like, it does
well,
give you the option to just go and just on a complete murder spree if you so choose.
well,
You know.
I mean, you did. I did do that a couple times, but I saved right before I did it, so I could.
Yes.
Yeah. And also, I just punched a lady right in the face. I literally just punched her right in the face and had no idea. And Giuseppe was not expecting it at all. Similar to me, I thought I was running, but I accidentally hit R3 instead of L3,
Uh huh.
and just knocked her right out. And
Yeah,
the
I'm not.
police were not happy.
Yeah,
F
I'm
down.
not gonna lie. Between Human Revolution and Mankind Divided, I would say a very solid 25 to 33.3% of the fun of those games is quite honestly just running up to random people and just giving them a headbutt,
Yeah.
knocking them out with your takedown. It's just hilarious to see.
Yeah, I did it a few times, especially today. I messed up trying to hack something like a bunch of times, and I ended up just saving right before it because I was like, oh, remember to save right before, and just reloading because I'm like, I hate this hack mini game, and I ended up just looking up the password to the computer or whatever the heck it was.
Sure, why
Um,
not?
Yeah, I don't care enough.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm liking the game enough. If I had to pay for it, I would have never bought it.
Right.
It's at that perfect level of this is fun. I'll sink maybe 40, 50 hours, however long the story is, maybe a little bit more, and then I'll leave it and be like, I played that.
Right.
Like I could talk about that game now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think I
it's
ended
good.
up buying that game too. I bought that when it was
It's
like $24.
That's great. I think 24 is not bad for that. I mean,
No, it's not.
But I
bad.
bought the Ultimate Edition for 24, so I got everything in it, and I
I
never played
don't.
it.
I think I have some of the DLC for the game because it says like, "Hey, play the DLC," and then when I went on the PlayStation Store, it said I unlocked some of the DLC. So I don't know if it was like a like part of the PlayStation Plus thing or like something else that I somehow
was-
acquired.
Yeah, I was day
So-
one on Mankind Divided, which
Yeah, well, you're
Was
a
honest-
Deus Ex fan.
I am a big fan. I didn't know much about. Well, I mean, I knew about the Deus Ex games for PC. I never got so super huge into them, but then when Human Revolution started coming around last generation, all of the promotional material for that really got me intrigued. I mean, for a game that I didn't have any particular following with prior to release, I was swayed quite easily and quickly, which is something that I normally don't do. But again, we were talking, this is a few years ago, and I actually I loved Human Revolution. I loved it so much that I bought the director's cut edition that got released later
that's the
after
one
the
that I
fact.
got. That-
Yeah, the one where they fixed the boss
Add-ons.
fights.
Yeah,
Well,
that
yeah,
was-
there were some add-ons, but they essentially fixed the boss fights to actually allow you to use the alt mission progression, like strategies, if you choose based on your augment builds, to apply those to the boss fights. Because quite honestly, a lot of people didn't make combat builds in that first, that basically that alpha build of Human Revolution. They get to the first boss and like, oh, I have nothing put into health, armaments, or offense. I just went pure stealth and like hacking, and this first boss owns me because you just gotta destroy them with combat, with guns and grenades. And if you don't have all the materials, you kind of screwed. You gotta kind of rebuild your character just to get past the first level, and that's ridiculous. So the director's cut fixed that, and I was really into Human Revolution. And then day one, Mankind Divided came along, and I enjoyed it enough for it was, but the story just it was just a step back for me. The gameplay was still fine. I'm not gonna.
Game. That story sucks. It's too much. Too much happened.
That was too much in a short amount of time that they just totally cram hole down your throat. That's that's something I still don't understand why they do. They could have probably done that a better way, a little briefer. Because when you take it all in organically through the course of a natural gameplay, the story is good. But Human Revolution for me was just like, I wasn't as enthralled with it as Mankind Divided. I wasn't as enthralled with Mankind Divided as I was with Human Revolution. So, but it's still
like you're not in the minority on that. So
no, it's fine. I still have yet to platinum it. I'm sure I'll get back into it eventually. Hopefully, cross my fingers.
No,
maybe not.
Probably not. No.
Yeah.
No.
It's all good. Yeah.
No, it's not. I'll never forgive you.
Bloodborne 2 confirmed. All right.
Bloodborne 2 confirmed.
It's confirmed right here. You heard it here first. October 6th, 2020. Crafting a Chat.
My God.
I would definitely lose my shit. Bad word. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. So today for Crafting a Chat, we weren't particularly motivated as a group because we didn't really do anything in terms of actually crafting a topic to discuss for Crafting a Chat. So we are definitely going to be shooting from the hip a little bit today. So if anybody out there has something that they want to discuss, just toss it out there right now, and we'll just launch into conversation.
Yeah, good ideas, bad ideas, we'll consider them all.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got to be.
We'll call them what they are. If they're bad ideas, we'll call them bad ideas, but we'll talk about them.
Sure, we will.
So, we're not just going to wait here until that happens.
No, we're not.
No, not at all.
I would imagine.
I hope. Maybe.
Not at all. Not at all.
So, if anyone here has something, please go right ahead.
This is either going to be like a really good one or like garbage.
Or the worst.
Happy 10th, everybody.
Happy 10th.
The PS5 came out.
The PS5 came out.
Surprise! October 6th, also revealed here. PS5's out. You messed up.
That's right.
You missed your pre-order. You missed picking it up at the store. What are you doing? Go out there.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they came out and like some Japanese personalities and Travis Scott got to test the test the PlayStation 5 in a controlled environment. They played some Godfall. They played some Astrobot.
Astrobot looked fantastic, actually.
They talked about it. Yeah. I don't know how much you both have seen, but
I've seen a good
I'm
amount.
hyped. I'm hyped. No UI leaks or anything like that. There was a video of a UI leak.
I think that was confirmed fake afterwards.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Or it was a dev kit, one or the other. So a couple of the UI leaks that came out were like of a black controller.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it was literally like a 26-second, like, hey, this is what happens when you press the button. Oh, it turned on.
We got a topic from Mr. Cork. He's here again this week.
Oh, Cork, welcome back again.
Howdy hey. Howdy hey.
I don't understand your life choices, but welcome.
He's asking for our opinions on the Caves and Cliffs update coming for Minecraft.
Oh, that's great. That's a good topic. That's a good one. I'm rating that one an 8 out of 10.
All
I'm
right,
rating every
solid.
topic that comes through. I just threw that out now. Yeah,
Caves and
it looks
cliffs.
cool. Yeah, it looks cool. No idea when it's coming out. I think they said 2021, but again, PS4 or PS5 or
I really
is
hope this is
Minecraft even
playable on
confirmed for
PS3.
next gen? I don't even know.
I would
Um,
assume that this should be fine.
I would
It's just gonna
assume
have
too,
bigger
but
draw distance and stuff like that. But yeah,
PS4 Minecraft was a different game, and you had to pay money for it than
well,
PS3
if you
Minecraft.
own the PS3 one, you didn't have to pay for the PS4 one.
You did. You had to pay more. You didn't have to pay as much, but you still had to pay.
I didn't have to pay for this.
Yeah, you did.
No, this was a free update I got because I remember buying the $20 PlayStation 3 version and it said you get the
Hmm.
PS4 version for nothing.
Oh, I
That
wonder
was
if that was at the time when, if you already owned it on PS3, I think you had to pay for it on PS4.
Yeah,
If
because I got this for free. I didn't have to do anything. As long as I had the license for it on the PlayStation 3, and I used the same username on the PlayStation 4, like
Yeah.
my PSN name, it would go ahead and say, okay, you can get Minecraft on PlayStation 4 for nothing. It would be nothing.
Oh, maybe I'm totally just misremembering that. Because
I did
I
not.
remember getting Flower for free, but I thought I had to pay for Minecraft. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
no, I
used the
never paid
same
for
ID
it.
and
I
everything,
will
so
fact check that right now, but
yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Fact
Well,
check
anyways,
it.
Caves and Cliffs. I don't know if you guys saw anything about that.
I'm on the wiki right now.
Yeah, it's long been rumored and it finally was confirmed and stuff.
I mean, it
Looks good.
looks nice.
I'm excited.
it
Minecraft
was
is never gonna.
$5. Maybe I didn't.
It was
I don't
$5.
remember.
Yeah,
I don't
you did
remember
have to
paying
pay. Get out of here.
I didn't remember paying for anything. Why? Why don't I remember? Oh, weird. Okay.
He does not
Yeah.
recall.
I remember paying. I remember being like, I have to pay for this? And then being
I,
like, oh, it's not much. I thought it was like 10.
it's
$5
$5.
though. Yeah, see? Made me look like
Do you
a
see?
crazy
Do
man.
you see?
Yeah,
You know,
maybe
honestly,
it's like my-
2021 summer. That's
yeah,
how far it's gone back.
Yeah, but that's not that doesn't necessarily mean for PlayStation people.
No,
It's always
that's
a
gonna be
delay with
farther.
us.
Yeah, it was farther back for
So,
PlayStation.
except VR, that wasn't delayed for us. I don't think
No.
Xbox got that.
Nobody else got that actually, except for PC and PS4.
Yeah. That was a
more
joke.
more content's never a bad thing. So that's cool.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. More content's never bad. Very excited for any update that comes to Minecraft. Didn't really care too much for the Nether update. Maybe it's because I died like a million times and lost everything that I've worked so hard to gain in a matter of seconds. But you
Yeah,
know, that could be a factor.
High
But
risk,
honestly,
minimal reward. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's good rewards. You just got to work for it. And,
Yeah,
creative
but minimal and
cheap.
comparatively speaking is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
To the
Yeah.
risks.
One day we'll get back to that. I know Genesis and I were on a mission there. Maybe if it's on PS5, like our world that we actually play in, not creative for like trophies and stuff. That's a different world, and currently doesn't run that well on a PlayStation 4 due to a map room that we've created.
Right.
Oh, we
And,
saw that mission. I'm not giving that mission up. No way.
Oh no, never. We can't let little K dogs work go like for nothing.
Is that,
You know?
what is that what we're calling him now?
K-Dog.
Kevin? Well, I
K-Dog?
just call little Cade. Sometimes I call him literally every nickname I can think. Whatever is in my mind at that moment, I call him that. I've called him like Kest, like Crest for toothpaste. No idea why. I just was like, "Hey, Kest," and he was like, "What?" And I had to explain it.
Hold on.
Yeah, no, I know.
Toothpaste. What,
Yeah,
what
Yeah,
happened?
I-
Okay, so I know there's Crest, and I know that there used to be Aquafresh. What happened to Aquafresh? Because I remember that was the only toothpaste I used to buy as a kid, or my parents would buy as a kid. And I've never seen it after that. The only one I see now is Crest on a shelf in a store.
well, they
Because
make
you
more
said
than Crest. Crest is not the only one.
Hey,
What
so I'm gonna totally call you guys on talking about toothpaste now. We're gonna go ahead and switch to something that I want to talk about. For a
No,
little
but
bit
wait, I
now.
want to know.
No, I
real
don't- no,
quick,
no,
real
I will-
quick,
I will
though,
veto that.
Aquafresh is still around. I just wanted you to know that.
That's
I just,
great.
Okay,
We're gonna
I
move
was
on
like,
then.
what?
I am officially vetoing any further discussion on toothpaste. Okay, clear.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
that is
Confirmed
it.
here. Giuseppe doesn't brush his teeth. That's what I'm taking out of that.
Right there you go. There you go. No more conversations about that. But I
Well,
do
I
want
didn't
to
give
have
my
a.
opinion on the Craven Cliffs update.
Okay, go ahead. What is your opinion on the Caves and Cliffs?
He's like, okay. I think
It better be
actually, I
something
think
better
the
than oh, I like it and it's cool and it's good.
no. The two things that I actually want from the caves update is the copper ore. I think copper is going to be like that new smooth stone that we want to have in like a lot of the server that we have already.
Oh yeah,
I would
that'll look
love to
pretty.
remake like some of my track with the copper stone. That would look so good, or the copper ore. Listen, man. Those tracks need they need attention, they need love, and then the goats. The goats are finally coming, so there's that. Um, and they hit you off a mountain. So if you go up on a mountain, they just hit you right off. I'd like that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say that now, but when you
Oh,
find
listen,
yourself in a situation,
I'm sure I've already.
No,
Adam can tell you how many times I've fallen off a bridge, and
I don't want to talk about it. That's why you have feather falling boots, and you've gone through like so many of them already.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, now I'm good. Now I'm done. That's those two
You're
things that I
done?
really am looking forward to.
are you sure you don't want to
Remember
discuss?
AIM toothpaste?
Oh, boy. You son of a
Yes,
gun!
I remember that toothpaste. I
You
do actually.
son of a gun! I'm telling you.
Oh, and then there's the deep dark coming in, which is a new biome, and I want to see that one.
I was like, whoa, deep dark, is that like a charcoal blend toothpaste? And
There
then
is
you
a
were like,
charcoal
it's...
blend toothpaste.
Oh,
There is
no,
one.
I'm aware, but I thought you were
I
still
don't know what the
talking
name
about
of it is,
toothpaste,
but
caves
Now,
and
you
Yeah, I don't-
sure
I don't-
you guys don't want to discuss any kind of like flossing products? Are you sure? Are we?
Yeah,
Can we move
okay,
on from
hold
that?
on. Let's
How
let's,
about
let's put a
do
pin
they-
in this.
how about whitening pens? Bleach
I'm
for your
those
teeth?
not a
are,
fan.
I
No,
think those
no?
are illegal.
Not a fan of those. No, they're still
Okay.
around. They still whiten your teeth. But let's put a pin in this. Next time Giuseppe's off, toothpaste episode.
All right, cool, awesome. We'll do that.
Oral care. Oral health care, let's call it.
Awesome.
Pretty
We'll do that.
sure you're gonna draw a different crowd for those hashtags. Anyway, we're gonna say the thing that I wanted to talk about really briefly is hey, let's talk about the death of movie theaters. It's happening. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
Because basically all of the fourth quarter blockbusters that were maybe possibly at some point happening, apparently they're all not happening. So there are going to be no great movies to watch in any theoretical theater sense this fourth
Giuseppe,
quarter. And that's a
is-
very saddening thing. Regal Cinemas closing up shop, at least temporarily, in the US and the UK. Regal Cinemas number 2 cinema distributor theater-wise in the US,
against,
number
AMC,
1 in the UK. So this is
AMC's number one in the U.S.
AMC's number. So we're talking about a lot of jobs lost for a decent amount of time. A lot of business
Furloughs.
lost, a lot of hopes and dreams of entertainment also down the drains as well. It's definitely not helpful. We've not been doing a really good job with COVID in the States, and I'm sure that's a big part of why it's not happening. So it's tough, it's bad, and a lot of people are disappointed, but and I totally I sympathize with you. So many movies that were slated to come out, I wanted to see them all. You know, they were all super exciting to me, and now we're not going to have them, and it's a very yet another sad thing to tack on to 2020 because 2020's got a 2020. And so yeah, what does the panel have to say about that?
So I had a question.
Sure.
For you, Giuseppe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Regal the only chain that is currently open? Because I don't think AMC actually ever opened up.
Yeah, they were. I went to an AMC Dolby Cinema to see Tenet.
Oh, okay. And so at this point in time, there are zero new releases coming in Q4.
Everything's been kicked. I mean,
There's
anything.
smaller things I still.
There
I
are
think,
smaller
still.
things, but like the big boys, like Dune got kicked, Wonder Woman's getting kicked, James
All the
Bond got
blockbusters
kicked. The
that actually
blockbusters.
make the money and get the crowds, those are gone. Those
Yeah.
have all been moved.
So that's why Regal is closing up shop. And honestly, I fully expect AMC to come right in line. I fully do.
Yeah.
AMC is not open around here. That's why I was asking. I was like, I don't know.
Well, some states are not allowing. That's actually one of the big things too with why
Yeah.
Regal is closing. Like if New York City theaters opened, like these movies would be coming out, and like
Well,
the
yeah, you got a giant
Regal would
portion of
probably
the
stay.
population
Yeah,
down there.
it's a giant portion of the population, and also that's where almost every movie goes to premiere. Um,
New York,
so
LA.
uh,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, it's been a big issue, but and plus also Tenet, it didn't really make that much money domestically. I think it still only made like under 50 million,
It
if I'm
is, yeah.
or
It's
59 or something like that. I don't
yeah,
remember.
it's in that range, but yeah, it's
It's
making its
low.
money abroad,
It's
overseas. I mean,
making
yeah,
some money abroad.
it's
It's
not a huge
yeah,
blockbuster. Yeah, it's not huge,
it's
and
around 300 million or so, a little
and I
bit
can
more, a little bit
understand
less,
why, and I can
more than
understand why.
Mulan.
If
So
we
it
ever,
was
well,
it
yeah,
was a risk that paid off.
it
It's
is.
in some ways because it still has to go to video on demand, and
Yes.
if it goes to video on demand at $30, I'm sure there's a lot of people that would still pay for it. So it'd
Hmm.
probably still do a pretty okay on there,
Sure.
I would
Yeah. No,
imagine,
it would.
and
Yeah, it would.
especially not behind a paywall like Mulan was, because Mulan
Yikes.
was behind a paywall to buy the movie at
Yikes.
all. So
Actually, that
yeah,
wasn't
it's
to buy it. That was just a limited time viewing thing. It was.
Doesn't that add it to your Disney Plus account though as a purchase?
I don't believe
I
so.
believe that added it to your Disney Plus account
Did
because
it?
I
Yeah,
know it's going to go free to watch December 2nd or 4th, something
December
like
8th.
that. Or sorry, December 8th. Yeah, you're right.
I
You're right.
think
You're
it's
right.
December 8th. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think it added it to your account. Like even if
Hmm.
it wasn't added to Disney Plus like for free, I think it added it to your account like
Yep.
you
I
now
think it
own
did.
this movie.
All right. Well, either way, whatever. It's fine. I don't have. I really my interest in all Disney live action productions continue to just continue to wane. With every proximate release that they have, I whatever.
Talk about Toothpaste again before we talk
Let's
about
not
that.
and say we did. But yeah, so yeah, movie theaters closing. The big movies we were anticipating, and further disappointed by their original summer release dates getting kicked back to the fall, and now that fall to next year fall. Oh, yikes. It's a sad time for entertainment in general, and quite honestly, it's a sad time for the planet. Productivity is definitely taking a hit, but I will say things that the arts in general, anything that's affiliated with the arts, has been hit particularly hard. Um, so, if and when things get back to normal, get out there, go to the theaters, go see some plays, go to an art exhibit. You
Buy a
know,
gift card at your
see
local theater.
do that
Yeah.
too, that too. Check out your indie cinemas, you know, because indie films, yeah, they may not be as flashy as the next Batman, but you know, they could be a pretty neat, interesting time. Get a little rounded education in your entertainment. I don't know. It's just a suggestion, not a command.
No,
But yeah,
I definitely agree with that. Having the experience of going to a movie theater, like I miss that experience of going like with you guys, to see,
What?
well, Adam in particular, because Giuseppe's not here anymore. um, but
You
no,
track
but
it all the way
actually,
down to.
well,
You
actually,
tracking all the way
like
down there?
back in the day when we used to go see the PlayStation E3 in a movie
Oh.
theater, that's I mean, God,
those were
we're
good
not gonna
times.
see that. Yeah, that
That
was
was
some of the
free.
best. That was some of the best. And it's like, I don't know. This is beyond stupid that we're just falling further and further into a hole at this point. And it's just like I don't know
Yeah.
when things are gonna get any better.
It sucks, and I was reading an article where it said studios should just take the losses to save the industry. Where it's like release a couple movies now, and if they don't do well, at least the theaters will stay alive. And then
Yeah, because at this
it
point
was
in time, I don't think they can stay alive now, right? They're
well,
not
that's
gonna.
why Regal's closing for now.
Right.
No. I mean,
And
like to come back even. I know because I know it's a temporary close, but I like Giuseppe mentioned earlier before we started is like,
I think of like companies like that, eventually they will come back, whether it be still Regal or some other company Or maybe Jeff Bezos with Amazon decides to buy a bunch of theaters, which I know
I wouldn't be
nobody really
surprised if that
wants.
might happen.
Eventually there's going to be demand for it, for them to come back, because as much as people like watching entertainment at home, there will still always be demand for theaters. At least now, there's still always demand for a theater or anything like that. Like you would think the drive-in would be more popular nowadays, but then you remember that they still really make their money on snacks, so people would still have to go into the like get out of their cars, go into the snack building to get
Or they
all their
could,
snacks. So
or
can't
they
really
could
open drive-ins.
they could do
Yeah.
other things too to get those snacks, those concessions to customers in the safest way possible that doesn't
Yeah.
involve them getting out of their car and going into a line and then, potentially risking a cluster situation.
Yeah,
You do
it's
you
certainly
do
possible, but drive-ins aren't as plentiful as they once were. There's
no.
not that many in the world,
That's another
or
thing
in the
too.
U.S. at
Yeah.
least. So,
But they could, if they did wanted to do it, it could be done. You make an app, have everybody pre-order their concessions. They drive in, they get to their spot, and they have somebody like shuttle a nice big box of all their concessions to their car. They leave, they get their concessions, enjoy the film, and have a good time. But again,
yeah.
it requires an awful lot of forward thinking in order to kind of like preempt those kind of business decisions. And obviously, what we're seeing these days is that there really isn't a whole heck of a lot of forward thinking because everyone's got a lot of stuff to deal with, and sometimes we don't have clarity of thought when it comes to situations. So it would be nice. Hey, I enjoyed, like, I could say probably in my life I went to a drive-in like a handful of times. Not a lot of opportunities. But I would say generally speaking, I enjoyed my time there. Would I prefer it to a nice Dolby surround sound theater with the nice comfy chairs and the gourmet kind of snacks? No. But
No,
I would
not at
I
all.
would take that over nothing in a
Yeah,
heartbeat.
there's also, as someone who went to the drive-in a bunch, especially when they were young, there's something about just being in your car at 1 a.m. watching a movie, like with some friends, eating snacks that you snuck into the theater, or snuck into the drive-in. There's just something about it. The only thing that sucks is the like 20-minute drive home, because it's like but you have to do that with like a regular, or just getting up after you've been sitting for a while. But a lot of people, the last few years that I've gone to drive-ins, we've been getting out of our cars, and I would assume that would not be allowed because between each car it's about 6 feet. But by the way, how people sit and stuff, it's probably still too close.
Mm-hmm.
So that you would have to force people to stay in their cars, and then they want to open their windows. It's like, do you allow that? If not, then people have to turn on their air conditioners, but then it can't be too cold or too warm, then the windows fog up. So there's just a lot. So it
Here's a
sucks about the
question.
theaters. I love going to the movies. I would prefer to go to. I would go to movies every week if I could.
Mm-hmm.
I would see any movie.
Me
I
too.
always say, like, if somebody asked me to go see Never Say Never, the Justin Bieber movie, I would have went to go see it, but nobody ever asked me. Like, that's how much I like going to theaters. And at the time, I wasn't a fan of Justin Bieber. Some of his music, it's okay. Him as a human being, not great, gotten better. In an awful church, but that's not important. But, yeah, I love going to the movies. It sucks that these are closing. Regal is my preferred cinema in my home area. I've gone to AMC a few times. They're nice, but there's something corporate about AMC's that I don't ever feel at a Regal.
No,
Even though,
I feel like I like. Well, actually, Regal actually has been getting a lot better. But AMC used to be the one that I used to want to go to all the time because I didn't like Regal's chairs and stuff. But then they upgraded everything in the Regal, and I'm like, wow.
they've upgraded a lot of the Regals and they've been nice, but AMC, yeah, they pioneered that healthy competition of the AMC and Regal. They've really been going back and forth around here. And then there's some local theaters around here that are pretty good. The one in the mall that I that I saw There Will Be Blood in way back in the
Dibson.
day. Yeah,
Dibson.
I didn't want to
Is
name
that
it so
Eastern
people don't know
Hills?
where we live. But yeah, good job, guys. Anyways, yeah, that's It sucks, but I understand why they're doing it. I hope they come back. I've even said, when Giuseppe, you said you went to go see Tenet, I said that even if I was the only person in the theater, I still would not feel comfortable going to see a movie right now. I just wouldn't feel comfortable at all with that. I wouldn't want to keep my mask on. I don't want to. If I don't need to go somewhere, there's no reason for me to go there at this
No, that
point.
makes sense. That makes sense.
If this all was under control and everything was safe and happy and healthy, then yeah, I'll go. But there's no end in sight currently.
No.
We can only guess, but our guesses have been wrong for the past 7, 8 months, however long it's been.
Mm-hmm.
So it sucks, but understandable. Good luck to everyone who had a job at a movie theater. I hope you bounce back. I hope you get some good packages. Since you're kind of technically being let go, I guess.
No,
I don't even know what the employment situation is.
The only package they get, is a furlough kiss off. That's the only package that they get.
Yeah,
and
good
it's
luck.
no even real promise of being rehired from a furlough situation.
I'm still mad I wasn't hired by Regal when I applied there like 6 times when I was 18. I applied there 6 times I applied there like 6 times within like a 3-year period.
Wow.
Like literally every 6 months you were allowed to apply. I literally applied every time. When we worked for that one company where we all met, I was still applying to there because I was like, I like movies. I would love to work there on like a Friday or a Saturday, just so I could have the benefit of like going to the movies for like a discounted price. That's how much I like movies. Like I was okay with having like a part-time job. I still think about getting a part-time job. I mean, well, before all this, I still still thought about getting a part-time job at like a movie theater, just so I can get a discount, see a movie.
Well, you'd see movies for free is what you would get.
Well, it depends what you do. Like if I'm the ticket guy, I'm not seeing a movie. Or do you mean not every company offers free movies? Apparently.
Well, Regal does. Having worked for Regal for like 3 years. Yeah, I worked at that Regal.
You got an insider.
You got an insider. Those the deets.
It was a fun time. I definitely made some pretty good friends while working there, and I really enjoyed being able to just call up and get free tickets almost whenever I want. Basically any day that's not a premiere opening.
How many tickets
weekend.
you get?
I've requested up to 5 tickets at a time for one showing for a group of people.
Wow.
So yeah, I was able to get it's pretty good. It was a pretty good deal. Again, I don't know if every Regal does that, but the one that I worked for did.
Those puppies come back. I'm trying to get me a part-timer.
Yeah, no discount on concessions, but hey, free tickets, and that's really what it's all about.
I don't really ever buy anything. So,
gotta have a good fresh popcorn every now and then.
Funny enough, as much as I love movie theaters, I hate the smell of popcorn.
Yikes. Well, there you go.
Well, I like the smell of popcorn. Popcorn smells good.
Popcorn can smell like delicious buttery stuff, but 98% of the time it smells like wet, just old pee. And it smells awful.
There it is. Old pee.
Wet old pee.
I got a question.
Yes.
So, you guys remember PlayStation Home?
Of course.
Yeah.
What would it be enticing if PlayStation Home came back and you had like movie theaters in there and you all go and watch a movie in PlayStation Home and it worked much better on a PS5?
No, I mean, if it was like VR capable, like cool, but also Giuseppe doesn't have VR. But also, if all 3 of us went to watch a movie in home and we're playing as our characters, I don't know if you guys remember playing in PlayStation Home, but that was not running great. But let's just imagine it runs perfectly fine. It's completely optimized. The views were never great. Also, Amazon has a thing called Amazon Watch Party that you could do. Or if we really wanted to watch something all together, we could literally set up Netflix and join a Discord call. Or we can join on PlayStation right here, pop on our Netflix, and just talk as the movie plays. If we really wanted to sync it up.
The VR portion of it doesn't entice you at all?
Not too much, because I could just pop in a Blu-ray and I could watch movies in VR. Like, I don't need you guys to be there. I could actually just have headset on and we could all time it up, and I'll see the movie theater experience. You guys won't, but it's not the same, because a movie theater is something completely different. You're going somewhere else to sit in a chair, to basically be in a giant screen. As much as VR is cool, it still isn't like as immersive as real life is. Like it's closer to immersion than anything else. And sometimes when I'm playing Beat Saber, I get lost in that. I haven't played too much of that, by the way, lately, because my back's getting way better. I got a chair.
Good.
But yeah, it's not as immersive as a real life theater. It's really about that sound, surround sound, the large screen. I like the atmosphere of going to a theater. Even though I don't like the smell of popcorn, I better hear popcorn being made, and I better see people with buckets of popcorn. And I like hearing people go, "Oh, whoa!" Like, not too much, because shut up, it's a movie. It's not real. Calm down.
Right.
But
right.
at the same time, like, I love going to theaters. But I know I'm not a lot of people are like that. So I get where you're going, and I knew exactly where you were going. That's why I said no immediately.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't really make a difference to me if Home came back. If you guys were like, hey, let's do it, I'd be like, sure. What are they playing? Oh, it's the God of War documentary that's been free on YouTube for a year now. Yeah, probably. It'd probably be at different points like it was in PlayStation Home originally, because nobody's screens matched up. It was all messed up. Home sucked.
I got a good question.
Home, but it sucked.
I got a good question for you guys. That's kind of like piggybacking off what you just said. When the last time that you were at a theater, or in memory, anything that you can remember, what was the biggest or most interesting audience reaction that you were present for watching in a film? Do you remember?
Biggest audience reaction?
Like, yeah,
If
that you
I'll
were
go first
present
real
for.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a film, but it is in a theater, and I think you boys know what I'm going to talk about right now.
Oh,
PlayStation
no.
experience.
Oh, no.
It's not any PlayStation experience. There's two moments from different PlayStation experiences.
Your Dream 1.0 and Your Dreams 2.0.
Not that one.
Oh,
Not that one. No. The first one I'm going to talk about is when the Days Gone one happened. Like, it opened with Days Gone footage, but then the sound system was out, and then you saw Deacon riding his motorcycle, but there was no sound because
Oh, I remember this.
difficulty.
I remember this.
And
Yep.
some dude went like a motorcycle sound, and everyone laughed, but then it didn't come on, and everyone joined him.
Yes.
So every time there was an action, just people were making the sound. Then the sound came on. Then it was a lackluster show. And it was cool, but whatever. God of War one, pretty good, but I remember just freaking out, being like, that's not his voice. That's not T.C. Carson. That's a different voice actor. And I just remember being upset about that. Chris being right there, being like, hey, it's God of War, and I'm like, yeah, it's God of War, but that's not T.C. Carson. What's going on here?
And didn't I tell you? I'm like, Adam, what happens if you like this? And you're like, I don't know. I don't know what to feel right now because it's not his voice.
I'm not gonna lie, I still don't know what to feel. And some of my favorite moments of the new God of War are when he sounds like his original voice actor, because voice is probably the biggest thing for me. I know I have like an insufferable nasally voice, and I hate the sound of it, but if I didn't like any of your voices, I wouldn't talk to you. There's people I've met where I like them as a person, but I hate the sound of their voice and their laugh, and I do not talk to them.
Goodness, Lord, you like the sound of my voice? Are you kidding me? My voice is like...
Now, hold on. Don't start patting yourself on the back. I don't mind the sound of your voice. It doesn't bother me. It's not annoying. It's not an irritating sound. I have met people, and they talk, and they're like, hello, and I'm like, oh, I hate them. Immediately, I know I hate them. Even when I was a child, I would be watching, like, Batman the Animated Series, watching, like, the first episode, being like, wait, why is Batman playing the helicopter pilot or the blimp pilot?
Uh-huh.
And, like, other friends be like, well, it's not Batman. I'm like, that's Kevin Conroy doing a different voice. It's clearly him. He's clearly doing the Bruce Wayne voice, just in a higher octave. And no other kid probably cared about that, but I think it breaks the immersion for me immediately. I hate it. I hate when, like, the Troy Baker and Nolan North being popular in video games, I'm okay with that now because they're personalities, so it kind of makes sense. But I still think about them. Like, as I'm playing Last of Us 2, I was like, this is Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson. This is Troy Baker and Ashley. Hey, there's Laura Bailey. Hey, look at that. Oh, that's Travis Willingham. Like, it totally takes me out of it for a second.
This is the same thing.
No, not the same thing. Not the same thing. We're not talking about that here.
Okay.
But then the other PlayStation experience is the reveal of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, that was nuts.
As we've talked about on here,
Crazy.
I am not a fan of the Final Fantasy series. I get the appeal. It's not for me. I didn't know what was happening for about until the title screen appeared. I sat next to this kid, Chris, that I've mentioned already. He started screaming. He was like, those are the sounds he made. And then Genesis, you were behind me screaming.
Yep.
Giuseppe, you were screaming with your lovely wife, and everyone around me. I was terrified because I had no idea. I didn't know what was happening. I don't know if I was going to get sacrificed. I was so scared.
We all turn and looking at him where it's time.
I was against a wall. Like, we're all the way back on the left. And I'm against the wall, and Chris is losing his mind. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? And then you see Cloud Sword, and the theater erupts, and you just feel a seismic wave because everyone's orgasm shot at the same time. So it registered on the Richter scale, and everyone started screaming, and I started screaming, like, I don't know what's going on. And then the title came up, and I was like, oh, I know that's a beloved game. And, oh my God, that has to be the craziest theater moment I've ever had. But awful. Bad. I'm glad everyone was so excited. The Genesis, I'm pretty sure you cried.
I did. Because that was the same.
Tears.
Right before that, they announced Kingdom Hearts 3 right before that, and then the trailer dropped.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's like I was gonna have a double heart attack that day.
And then I believe, was it right after that where it was the Star Wars thing, where it was like, hey, Star Wars little figures or whatever.
Yeah, it was. What was it? Disney Infinity? Yeah. Yep. Right after that amazing performance, Disney Infinity comes up. We're like, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was nuts. I don't know.
They probably could have done a better job planning that out. But hey,
movies.
They've gotten better.
I need more time to think about a movie that the greatest reaction. Oh, actually, I could probably name one right now that I actually experienced with Genesis.
Oh yeah.
It was in if I want to say Endgame.
Yep.
A little indie film. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. It's pretty good. I'd recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a moment, spoilers for Endgame, there's a moment, I was enjoying the film enough, but I wasn't like I'm a DC guy, so automatically I'm not in love. But I've been there for the journey since Iron Man 1.
Yep.
So I was ready. So we get to the point where a young man named Captain America, that's his full legal name, and he started to fight a young purple Thanos, if you will.
Thanos.
Some Thor guy was there.
Thanos.
And they're fighting. The dude from Cabin in the Woods. But he also plays Thor. So they're fighting Thanos. And Thanos starts kicking Thor guy's little booty. All right? Big old booty, actually. He's pretty fat. Kicking his booty. And then the hammer falls to the ground. Yeah. It falls to the ground. And then it starts to move, and you're like, it's going to Thor. And it doesn't go to Thor, and it passes Thor. And it goes to a young man, as previously mentioned, Captain America. And I have to be honest with you, I did not expect my reaction. They teased it enough in movies that are far inferior than this one. They teased it enough, and I think it's a worthy moment. I've seen a lot of people argue that it's not a worthy moment, like he didn't deserve to wield it or hold it, didn't build up correctly. I don't care about you. Go away. But when he grabs that, and he does the coolest stuff with it. He doesn't get it and then use it once. He starts to do moves that Thor doesn't even do. And then he's using it with the shield, and I looked over at Genesis, and Genesis's poor wife, and we're losing it. Genesis and I lost it. Up to this point, I'm like, yeah, this is cool. This is good stuff. Oh, that was cool. I didn't like that. Oh. But this moment, I was like, yeah, I'm in. And then for the next 11 minutes, I was riding that high.
Wow. Absolutely. Because I think right after that, you get the assemble scene, or was it before that? Was Avengers Assemble before that?
No, it's right after that because then he has the hammer.
Yep, and then we saw that and we were like, oh my god!
Yeah, when what's happening, it's coming up, what's going on, you get it.
There weren't upswell.
It was cool. Yeah, it was the upswell, the on your left, good callback, overused at this point, good internet meme. It is cool. That moment it floored me, and that's something I'll never forget. Ever. Mm-hmm. Just hanging out with Genesis, being like, yeah, this movie's alright. And then that happening and being in ecstasy for 11 minutes. So, that's a good one. Real quick also, when The Dark Knight Rises came out, I saw the Dark Knight trilogy in theaters. They one after the other until The Dark Knight Rises premiered. I never saw Batman Begins in theaters when I was a child. When it released, my uncle gave me a pirated copy that was crappily filmed. And it was really dark. And I watched that a bunch. I've seen that movie so many times. But it was my first time seeing that movie in theaters, and I was so shocked when everybody just started, repeating some of the lines. Normally that would be annoying, but, it was just a bunch of Batman fans. And, some of them were like, it's not what you do. Oh, my God, it was so good. It was so crazy. Tears to my eyes. It brought tears. I cried like a little boy. I cried like a little girl. Cried like an adult man.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. When they have screenings
when they throw stuff and all that. Yeah, that's cool and all.
It's a bit.
So it's different.
No, right? Yeah, it's different, right?
But yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, that was cool. And then people doing the music for the just hitting the beats. We were all there. We were all there. It's great. So yeah, I have way more, but I won't go into those.
Wow. That's yeah. You definitely went off on that question right there, Genesis. Yeah. Do you have any way to follow up on that?
Yeah, I don't think I'd follow it up, but I remember 2 points, and I think there was another PlayStation event where people were losing their mind, and I don't remember exactly what it was. I can't remember if it was the God of War one, or if it was or if it was something else. I can't remember because I know everybody was losing their mind when they saw this. It wasn't to the level of FF7.
No,
I don't think it was Crash. No. It was either God of War or something else, and I don't remember what it was.
God of War, because everyone was losing their mind in the beginning. What music is this? Because they just started playing the Bear McCreary soundtrack and had Ivor or whatever her name is.
It was either that or it was Last of Us, but I don't think it was any detailed look at Last of Us.
Oh yeah,
it was when we first saw Last of Us 2. I think so. I'm pretty sure it was Last of Us or it was God of War, one of those. But it was a very similar reaction. Everybody just started losing their mind, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
The Last of Us 2 trailer, the first one that came out, that was shown at the December event, and Regal didn't have a theater event for that.
Right, because it was a one more thing type of thing, and I remember.
Yeah, it was the last thing that I didn't see until way after, and the only reason I saw it is because you texted it in our Allo chat. And I was like, dude, I'm saving it. And I was so mad. But also, you were one of 7 people who texted me it. So you weren't the only one. You were just the first one I saw.
I'm pretty sure then the one I'm thinking about is God of War. Then we were there for it. We were all losing their mind over. That resonated with me a lot. Obviously, FF7. There was a lot of other PlayStation things that we've seen that it wasn't to the magnitude, but we all everybody was getting real hype in theater, and there was just like, excitement going all over the place because we saw this on the big screen and things coming out like that. But one of the ones that sticks with me the most is the ending of Infinity War, where it cuts to black after you see the final scene, and like the theater that because I don't think I saw this with you, right? I think we only saw Endgame together.
I saw that with my mom and then with Casey, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't see it with you.
The theater that we were in, my wife and I saw it, and when that final scene played, and then the black screen cut, and then like the lights started to, come up again in the theater, there was just dead silence in the theater. It was like you could drop a pin, and you could just hear that pin drop no matter where you dropped that. People weren't even whispering. People wasn't even saying. It was just
stunned, shocked.
What? And that one stuck with me even more than obviously we had such a fantastic time at the end game, but that stuck with me so much because we were all expecting like they're not going to do this. They can't do this. This can't happen. No. And then it happened, and then it was like, what in the world just happened here? And everybody just quietly got up and just walked out of the theater. And then there were people sitting there waiting for the credits to stop rolling because they I heard afterwards, like when I was outside the theater, I heard this one dude like talking. He's like, I was waiting. They were gonna show something else, like, hey, they're gonna be back, like this and that, or like somehow somebody comes back somehow. And I'm like, I don't think, because I think we stayed after, and like even someone else died at the end of that. And I was like, oh, God, this is not good.
Yeah, there was, when I saw that with my mom was crying, and there was just some random dude. It was a packed theater. There was some random dude next to her, and he was like, what? No. What? Like, out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching it like, wow, that's pretty ballsy of them. And then I have to admit, I laughed out loud when Spider-Man started to die.
Oh my God!
You laughed? You are disturbed, sir. You are
on.
disturbed.
Let me explain why I laughed. Because I saw that and I was like, that is the perfect meme. And then it turned to be
into the perfect meme.
The perfect meme. I don't feel so good. I thought he overacted in that part. I laughed, but I kept it shut. Like I was like trying to respect everybody. I think my mom heard me because she gave me a look. But I did laugh at that scene. I did not think that was a well executed scene. I know a lot of people liked it, and they're like, oh, his spider sense, he felt it. And I'm like, yeah, but also, I know I'm in the minority on that one.
That is very disturbing.
It's not disturbing.
No, I'm very disturbed by that reaction that you had.
Well, that's a very interesting opinion on that. But it didn't hit for me for some reason. Also, I didn't really care for the Tony Peter relationship at all.
That was one of my favorite relationships in the
that relationship never hit for me, and like the Spider-Man going away, I'm like, he's only been here for like a movie and a half. Like I don't care. So,
well,
I'm glad he came back. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad.
I enjoy Tom Holland a lot. I mean, like I always tell you guys, I enjoy him more than Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. So
yeah,
don't know why I do. I just
good actor.
I don't like I liked Spider-Man 1. That's always going to be a classic. But then everyone after that, it was just I was like, okay, whatever.
And they're all good in their own ways, but Tom Holland has clearly been the best. So I don't think anyone here is really going to dispute that too much.
No, I won't dispute that. But I will follow up with a couple of my own. One of which, again, is another MCU film, probably one that you wouldn't necessarily suspect coming. And yes, everything that you guys have spoken about regarding Endgame and Infinity War, and those are. I had similar, if not exact, carbon copy experiences with that when seeing them in an actual awesome theater with a loaded crowd and everyone's having that shared experience. Going back a few more years, going to actually Captain America Civil War. The third Captain America, even though it really should not have been qualified as a Captain American film, but whatever. The scene in the third act, when we just were ready to get to that climactic fight sequence at the end, when Tony sees the footage, what happened to his parents for reals, and the stuff is about to go down, and he goes to Cap and he says, "Did you know? Did you know?" And then when Cap says yes, and I was in a loaded theater, I kid you not, every single person in that audience let out the same shocking what or sigh or huh when Cap said yes, he knew. Everybody felt the Tony Stark, what are you talking about, man? Are you crazy?
Oh
that
my God.
it was insane. I was like, oh my God, everybody had that exact reaction. I mean, I can understand that's specifically what the movie was trying to get from you at that point, but to have the entire theater react in that way verbally, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, and then I kid you not, I definitely looked around and like everybody had the same expression I'm sure I had on my face at that moment. I was like, oh my goodness, that was great. One that I had that was not so great, going back even further back, a few more years, Prometheus. So Prometheus is a film that happened, and that's a tragedy and all. And then at the end, I remember I actually went with my sister in eager anticipation for an expansion on the alien mythology. So much so that I had previously gotten the Blu-ray sets of the Alien films and had rewatched them all in anticipation of Prometheus. And I went to the Regals for the IMAX theater showing of it. I went with my sister. We waited in line to get decent seats at the IMAX. Probably it was like, I don't know, like maybe like an hour and a half wait. And you know, everybody who was waiting in line went out the door. Everyone was everyone was in total fanboy mode, geeking out over a new Alien film with the man at the helm, Ridley Scott himself, directing. And then that film happened. And then it ended, and then the final credits started to roll. And then one person, and I believe it was third row up from the IMAX, I want to say 5 or 6 from the right, person started clapping with the kind of exuberance you'd expect of someone who just like they saw their kid like hit a home run in Little League for the first time, or their team won the Super Bowl, and he clapped in vibrant succession, 5 claps in a row, and then he suddenly came to the immediate realization that he was the only person in that filled to capacity IMAX theater that felt that way about that film, because there was nothing but crickets that hollowed out that theater, and he slowly dialed that exuberant clapping back to the rest of the void, which is what that film deserves in terms of a reaction to, because everybody realized what trash they had been subjected to in that moment in time. The entire theater. And I felt everybody's eyes turn to that one guy, three rows up from the front, 5 or 6 seats from the right, glaring at him, boring holes in the back of his head for clapping at that. And he was put to shame, and we all left the theaters worse off for having seen it.
And you guys all beat him to death in the park.
We didn't. Nobody. I hope nobody went searching for that person.
Now they did.
But it was that was a unique clapping experience. One person in a crowded IMAX theater. One person clearly saw a different film
real quick,
than everybody else.
real quick, building off of that, if you clap at the end of a movie, stop. Unless the director or the actors are in the theater, stop. Even if it's the best movie you've ever seen, no, don't. Stop. I hate you. That's it. Clappers must die. And not like in the figurative way. Don't clap.
Or else you literally die.
I want to hit you if you clap.
Yikes.
I hate it.
Yikes.
You go home. You talk to people. You don't clap.
Anywho, so subject change. Who's got a subject change? Who's got a subject change?
Well, the PS5 came out in Japan for some people. We never really talked about it.
Yeah, we just lost the topic.
Yeah, we just moved on. They played some games. We already talked about it. If you're confused, go back like an hour. And it runs whisper quiet.
Yeah, actually, surprisingly, very, very good cooling system from what people have said.
I mean, not that surprising since Sony has literally been talking about the cooling system for about 90 years.
It doesn't matter how many times I see a picture of this thing. This thing looks gargantuan in real life.
It's huge. Also, I am loving it more and more. But also, I think it's the most ridiculous looking thing, and I don't understand why they've made it this way. But at the same time, I just love how it looks evil. But also, it looks like it could break if I sneeze on it. But I go back and forth on if I love the design or not. We'll see in person when it comes
I
to
especially
any of us
love
eventually.
the design of this thing. I just wish it came in a different color. So if the faceplates are changeable, I would be very happy for that. If the
I'm fine with the white. I don't look at my PlayStation 4 and be like, why do you look like that?
If I could also change the
LEDs
LEDs on it, that would be cool. Like if you could change the color, but I don't think it's gonna. Since with the PS4, we only see the blue light when we turn the console on. After that, it's white.
Yeah, the same with this one. You only see the blue light when you turn the console on, and then it's white.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that part.
Yeah, no, that was one of the things where people thought the videos were fake of people talking about the PlayStation 5 because they didn't see the blue light on. And then Sony was like, nope, it turns white, and it's in a white room, and also it's got a white side, so you don't really see the white. And everybody was like, all right, cool. So it's cool to bring in the player 1, 2, 3, and 4
I did
lights
see that
back.
one too. Yeah, I did see that.
Like on
That's
PS3,
nice.
it's cool you see that now. Not only is it a different light, but like or it's in color. Yeah, it shows. So that's cool.
But somebody made a mock-up of that one where they showed the different color LEDs in the controller too that come up on the side. Like some had purple, red, green, blue. They look really nice.
Very exciting stuff.
I can't wait to somehow become part of the secured PS4 or PS5 pre-order gang.
I was going to say your PS4 pre-order. It's a little late.
Oh, I know.
I got bad news, guy.
But some things that have come out about it have actually been interesting. Wi-Fi 6 is going to be available, which is not available on the Xbox Series X. Wi-Fi 6 is going to be... I don't know what that
number means.
Wi-Fi 6 is a game changer when it comes to actual Wi-Fi bandwidth and your speeds. So if you have a Wi-Fi 6 compatible router, which are now becoming more mainstream, if you have those, you have a much lower latency, as well as your ping is not as stupid anymore for Wi-Fi 6. So PS5 does come with Wi-Fi 6 fully enabled.
They should have a list of appropriate routers to accommodate that.
There's a handful of Asus and Netgear. Those guys, they make the routers for Wi-Fi 6. Most of your phones are Wi-Fi 6 compatible as long as you have something that's newer of 2018 in a phone. But your phone does have Wi-Fi 6. Giuseppe, I don't know.
No, mine probably doesn't.
I don't remember. But Wi-Fi 6 is definitely a game changer in terms of speed of Wi-Fi. So you get a lot less disruption. Like currently, Wi-Fi 5 is just not.
Now, does that make any kind of a difference if you just still keep your console hard linked like a land link?
Hard linked is always going to beat any sort of Wi-Fi number out. So,
Right.
like right now, I have it hard linked. I have a gigabit port connected to it, so
Right.
it's getting the fastest speeds possible to the PlayStation. I can pull out a connection test, and it's going to be anywhere from 500 to 700 megs.
Cool.
It's that's always going to be the better way. But
not everybody can do that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
exactly.
not
So,
everybody can do
yeah,
that.
I have it hardwired as well, but we have friends who are Wi-Fi, whose internet sucks, and we criticize them every day. So when they get a PS5, that'll be nice for them. So
It'll be nice
if
for
they
that.
have a router that can do that, but it should still help.
The other thing which I've heard is that the usable space on an Xbox Series X has been confirmed. About 824 gigs of usable space is confirmed on that 1 terabyte hard drive that they have on there. They have not confirmed the PS5 one, but people are seeing 662, 640, 650, somewhere in the 600 range.
That has Astrobot on it installed already, right?
Yes, they all come with Astrobot installed on it.
So can you delete Astrobot if you don't want it? I'm assuming you can.
That is a question that's been asked because I don't remember if you could delete Playroom off of the PlayStation 4 because I remember that came pre-installed.
Do you have Playroom on your console?
I do.
Do
It's
I?
on there. It's sitting there.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I also have Playroom. Yeah, you can't delete it.
I don't remember. So I guess you can. Yeah, that answers that question. But they're asking if you can. Nobody's responded with anything yet, obviously, and Sony hasn't.
Yeah.
Probably not.
So
The answer is probably not. Yeah.
if I had to assume, it's only about like a 5 to 10 gig game. It's nothing. That's nothing crazy.
Well, according to them, it'll take a few hours to beat. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's only a 4 to 5 hour game.
It probably isn't even separated into like anything you can see. It just is included in the operating system.
So where's all the other storage
OS?
space going to? Really?
OS. Yeah, just like Xbox Series X.
Well, it's an
830
it's an 825 terabyte SSD.
Yep.
So it's about 200 gigs for the.
No, 825 gigabytes, not terabytes.
Did I say terabyte? Oh God!
Yeah, it's like what?
How much would that cost? Oh my God!
Not $500.
220 times 825. I'm not doing that math. But yeah, no, it's standard. It's not a lot of room.
No, I would definitely. I'm going to be looking at an upgrade, especially when they give the prices and compatibility sheet of like what works with this. I'm probably going to end up just spending money on that and getting an upgrade because I can't. I would not suffice with 600. I have a 2 terabyte running on this PS4 right now.
For me, I delete a bunch of games. I only play like maybe 4 games at a time. That's the perfect amount of space. I should be fine. Eventually, I will either upgrade or I will buy a new PS5 later in its life cycle when they announce like an edition that I like. So, so I'm not concerned about the size currently. We'll see. Ask me in 6 months from after launch and be like, well, I want to play Sackboy Adventures with Genesis, but then I got Spider-Man's. And I got a couple other games, and
Yeah.
So we'll see.
The last thing I'll touch on before we move on from this was the ability to. So the Xbox Series X has this ability apparently. You can break a game down and uninstall core parts of it that you don't want.
Yeah.
I don't know if people have been asking if the PlayStation 5 can do that. Nobody's been able to confirm.
Mark Cerny confirmed that in the talk, but we haven't seen anything about it.
Did he confirm that?
Yeah, he talked about that in the talk, where it's like, well, you don't need this part of the game, so you don't have to do it. I've watched that talk like 4 times. I don't know why.
I need to rewatch.
I'm just like
that
listening to Mark Cerny
to remember what he said because I didn't remember that at all.
He's got a very pleasant voice, Mark Cerny.
He does. Don't look at him because he's scary, but like. He's a very attractive man, but he's scary sometimes with his eyes and him trying to measure my ears all the time in my nightmares. But he did talk about like, oh, you could, if you're playing the multiplayer and the single player, like you play the single player, delete the single player. But like they haven't. That's a detail where they've mentioned, but they haven't really gone into depth about there.
Yeah, showing
and I'm
how it
concerned,
goes, how it works.
I'm concerned if it's just something they're not going to talk about. Because they're going to be like, games, that's all you need is games. And then we have to discover those features that's there. Or like the hardcore will know, but the other people won't know. Xbox is literally saying everything about their console. They gave it to people. They gave like the cases of them out. They then gave out real ones to a bunch of people.
Unfortunately, still can't make the numbers that Sony, I guess, is making according
not
to
yet.
them.
Yeah, but
we'll
you know
see.
what, Adam? That's a very valid observation. Yeah, that is definitely a thing that Sony can definitely work on.
Sony.
That is classic.
That's how they're playing it, though.
Yeah, but
it's classic Sony. They've had smart delivery for years, including with Vita. They've called it crossplay. It's literally been a thing for years on PlayStation. When Xbox was getting all that press about it, PlayStation said nothing, even though it's a thing that's been happening. A bunch of the games that Xbox is getting, like, it's free here and here. And it's the same thing for PlayStation, but PlayStation's not like, yeah, it's also here. They're just not saying anything about it.
Yeah.
Which is, so frustrating. It's such, as we've talked about, as Giuseppe has brought up multiple times, the transparency is so terrible, but at the same time, it's like, just talk about it. Just put out a blog post and say, hey, put out an FAQ and be like, this is what you guys have been asking. This isn't like a great thing, but here you go. These things do exist. Here's just some confirmation on it.
Right.
Like, it took them forever to just talk about backwards compatibility. I doubt they were trying to make a decision about it for months. They probably had the decision, but then it finally was confirmed in a Jim Ryan interview that we don't really care about backwards compatibility because it doesn't really offer as much of return as everyone thinks it does.
Right.
It doesn't, honestly.
So, it doesn't. I mean, it's cool. Like, you're buying a Series X, you have a huge library.
And it's definitely helpful for the launch because, launch games are just frequently just not there. So it's nice to have something to fall back on for immediacy.
We're launch games for now.
Yeah, so you bring up launch, and a lot of people are comparing this launch and saying that this is one of their better launches that they've had in a while versus like the PS4 launch, the PS3 launch. I don't remember what the PS2 launch was, so I don't know about that one.
PS2 launch was not strong. Not for launch titles, no.
Yeah, they're saying that this is the best the best launch lineup that they've seen in quite some time from Sony and Microsoft, actually, because Microsoft I don't think they have a launch lineup, actually. They don't. Do they have a launch lineup?
They don't make games for Xbox.
They have a launch lineup. It's third-party stuff. It's third-party stuff and backwards compatible stuff. They technically they have over 200 games for Series X on launch day.
Which are
because they have backwards compatible, the third-party and stuff. But also there was that picture that showed like, hey, Xbox actually has more launch games than the PlayStation. But then people looked at it and were like, yeah, but these are also on PlayStation, or these don't really come out that same day. It was the whole thing.
Right.
I don't care how many games are coming out for the PS5 on launch, because I only care about how many games are coming out for the PS5 at launch that I'm going to play. I don't care if it comes out with 80 games. If I don't like any of those 80, if they're all NHL and NBA and Madden, I'm not going to play any of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you can count like Assassin's Creed as a launch game, but it's coming out like a day before, a couple days before. Technically, Cyberpunk is a launch game for me because I'll probably get that on PS5 because there's no reason for me to get it on PS4. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
So
we don't count whatever that game was mentioned earlier as a game. So.
We've already moved on. You're the one who keeps going back to it. You want to talk about it?
I don't want to talk about it. I just want to make sure that we don't, Anyway.
All right. Well, the SSD capabilities also of the PS5 were shown faster than they've mentioned.
Yes, faster than the previous build that they showed, which is insane. Like, people are just going nuts over the speed that this console has. It is still outclassing the Xbox in terms of speed, and it's just immensely crazy that this goddamn console can just move this quickly. People were putting gifs of like the the newer updated builds of certain of Astrobot and Godfall.
Astrobot, you die and you come back almost immediately.
Oh my god, it's ridiculous, man. I'm like, they really gave us a taste of this in Ghost of Tsushima, but I didn't. I mean, that's what, a 5 second, not even maybe 3 second.
Yeah, it takes a couple seconds or a few seconds.
This thing doesn't even need 1 second.
It's crazy because Insomniac, this is a good transition. Insomniac confirmed with their the Spider-Man remaster for PS5. It loads quickly. That those cutscenes when you fast travel, like they're not going to be there, but there's an option to turn them on if you like watching them.
I remember seeing the comparison video for Spider-Man, but
that's how quick it is. It's lightning quick, which is
that's
cool.
what I think is going to be the big defining thing this generation, anyway, when it comes between these two consoles. I don't. Power is not going to be a thing. It's going to be it's going to be the speed. It's going to be just.
Power is also nice. I mean, and right now, like we're seeing like graphical upgrades where things look much nicer still.
I mean, NBA 2K21 there was night and day difference between 2K20 and 2K21.
Yeah, it's all that lighting and how sweaty that dude is. And that's literally what it is. Like it's the lighting and he's wet. He's just a wet man.
He looks really good in PS5 version.
Now that was just cutscene footage, though, right? It wasn't actual gameplay, right?
It's literally one picture that I saw. I didn't look further.
I don't know whether
it could be cutscene, but most of the NBA 2K cutscene stuff is all in-game engine.
Those are rendered in game, I believe.
But it's a different fidelity with the actual like in-game models, though. You know what I mean?
When you make a shot in NBA, like how you see the small, not cutscene, but I guess a cutscene, like of a player, like I don't know, just doing some random motion, like that one photo has been just cut out of the 2K20 version and the 2K21. They have the same exact mirror image just on the PlayStation 5, and it just looks so much better.
Funny story.
You've played that. I know you have, Giuseppe.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, and honestly, like, none of the graphics in 2K20 are... I mean, it's fine for a sports game, but there's still an awful lot of character player models that don't even look like they're human, let alone, close to the actual athletes that they're meant to be, so...
Hey, look it up. Look up that screenshot.
I'll check it out. I'm sure.
Send it through.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine and all, but I mean.
Funny story. With that, that picture. I saw this on Reddit like about 30 minutes before we started this, and I showed my mom, and I was like, "Whoa, look how crazy this looks," and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's crazy," and I'm like, "The one on the right's also a game," and she's like, "No, that's real life." I'm like, "No, that's also the game." Like, she could not tell the difference. And then after she looked at it for a little bit more, she was like, "Oh," like it totally tricked her.
So somebody did a comparison with Demon Souls from PS3. I mean, obviously this is a very big, giant leap in comparisons here, but just for shits and giggles, somebody did a comparison of the Demon Souls PS3 load time versus the PS5 load time.
Huh?
PS3 load time, when you go through the fog, and let's say you're going to go kill a boss, it is... hang on 1 second here. It is about 11 seconds. On PlayStation 5, it is 0.8 of a second.
Yeah, it's much quicker. So, which is nice. I hate loading screens. My biggest complaint about some of the games that's come out recently. And I've honestly noticed a difference by just getting a Pro, and I think that alone was worth it. So I can't stress enough how much I hate loading screens.
Functionality is going to be what defines this generation.
Well, at first, yeah, we'll see.
It's going to define it throughout. Because the consoles that will get that high performance out of the gate and maintain it, because obviously the demands of future releases are just going to be more and more and more in terms of like your install size, what your save file sizes are going to be. So everything is going to continue to go up exponentially. So, and that will push the hardware to the limits. We'll see how well it sustains it throughout the generation, because that's really, I mean, I still don't see this quantum leap forward in graphic fidelity and processing power, all that. Yeah, all that stuff is all well and good, but quite honestly, games of this generation, they looked really good. The ones that where the art design was on point, man, they look really good. I mean, there comes a point when the aspiration towards photorealism, that's a great thing to aspire to, but then you also remove a significant amount of artistry from it, and you're not, at the end of the day, you're not really going for a realism experience. So, functionality. Make the games just simply work better, work faster. All of the annoying things that, load times, make that a thing of the past, evaporate it. That's what's going to take gaming to the next level, and hopefully this console generation is definitely going to be up to the task.
Oh yeah, I think it will be, and I think eventually graphically it'll also be much better. Like, we'll look at a game from PS4 and be like, what? We played that? Because every time a generation happens, I mean, it's clearly not as big as a graphical upgrade as from PS3 to PS4 or even PS2 to PS3, but like, every time we jump up, I'm like, oh, I can't get better. Then I look back at a game that I thought was crazy a few years ago, and I'm like, oh, this game sucks. Oh, this game looks horrible. So, I'm excited, but it is more about functionality here at the launch. So, and that's enough for me. So, and we've talked about this a few times. So,
I think there was a pretty big jump between PS2 and PS3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. PS2 and PS3 and PS3 and PS4, there was big jumps, but PS4 to PS5, it's not as big of a jump.
I don't think the jump between PS3 and PS4, in terms of graphic fidelity, wasn't as big as between 2 and 3. I mean, man, just the look of the Naughty Dog's water in Uncharted 1, just the look of the water, just
yeah,
so
but like
pretty
late
in
gen
comparison to
PS2
anything
games
that happened in PS2. I mean,
and
no,
early
it's not
gen
even
PS3
close.
games, it's well, I mean, there are ones that are close, but like, if we're going by it, yeah, they're big jumps, but it's also the same with PS3 to PS4. Like, late gen PS3 games are super pretty. Then you get to early gen PS4, and you're like, wow, what a difference. And now we're late gen PS4. If you look at late gen PS4 to early gen PS4, they look completely different.
That's true.
So, like looking at like Death Stranding compared to Metal Gear Solid 4.
Well, Metal Gear Solid 4 is a PS3 game, so.
Yeah, the late, like I said, late PS4 game to a late PS3 game.
Yeah.
Character models are actually pretty comparable there, honestly.
Death Stranding versus MGS4?
Yeah, they're very comparable.
MGS4 had good character models, but I feel like Death Stranding had a little bit better character models.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, there's been a 10-year difference between them.
You can count the pores on Norman Reedus' face, but honestly, they still look pretty comparable. You're not talking about one character model is from Pluto and the other one is from, I don't know, Earth.
Name So you went with a planet and not a planet. Nice.
A planet and the artist.
Pluto was the planet in that.
Formerly known as planet.
But yeah, and then Spider-Man. You guys want to talk about Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Got a new face.
The new face that looks like Tom Holland's face.
It looks similar to Tom Holland's face. Looks more like the actor who's playing him, but does have a resemblance to Tom Holland. Any thoughts on that?
I don't really mind the face change, honestly, but...
My thoughts are I don't understand why everyone's mad about it.
Because it's not their Spider-Man. It also has that look of like the Avengers video game, where it's like, it's like Marvel adjacent, like MCU adjacent.
Well, that's
It's
clearly what
like,
they are doing. They're trying desperately to do their best to be as proximate to the MCU without actually being that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And they're not doing anything different from, say, the comic books. You know, the comic books are all, they've been bending their art style and to an extent some of their stories to be as MCU affiliate as possible. So I mean,
yeah, MCU sells.
yeah,
So,
they know the
but
score.
yeah,
I'm not saying it's
they've said,
right, but
yeah, but
it's what they're doing.
yeah, and Insomniac said like, hey, it's about to get a better facial match for the voice actor because the voice actor still the same. I'd be like super pissed if they were like, we're changing the voice actor, but still the same voice actor. So when I first saw it, I was like, what? I don't want this. But then I know right when I play the game, I'm gonna be like, oh, I don't like this. But by the end of the game, I'm gonna be like, how dare you! Yelling at certain characters in the game, and
Right.
like I'll be back into it. So it's kind of sucks. But at the same time, like it's not like they're updating the PS4 game. I can go back to it, look at it, and be like, I remember when Spider-Man looked like Willem Dafoe with a wig. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
those are
See
Yeah.
my
that?
thoughts. I'm not super upset. So
No.
Did you see the thing I just sent in the chat?
I saw you did send something in the chat. I didn't see what it is.
160 PlayStation 5 games in 12 months. These are
Yeah, in
all
12 months.
confirmed titles.
This is in 12 months though. I won't even look at that list because in 12 months from now we'll be like, remember when the PlayStation 5 was supposed to come out? Like at this point, we literally don't know. Like there's a bunch of those games. I believe a majority of those games will come out. Some of them are going to get delayed till 2022. Wouldn't be surprised if one or two of them got canceled forever. Like it's a cool list and all, but at the same time, like it's 12
It's
months
just
in the games industry means literally nothing.
it's just interesting that I look at the list and like a couple of names jump out at me that are PlayStation 4 games that I don't remember them ever
These are
saying that
old
it's going to be
games.
coming as 5. Yeah, the
These are old
Warframe.
games.
Um,
Xenoverse 2? Call of
Can't
Duty
wait.
Modern
Xenoverse 2.
Warfare? These are old
Yeah,
games.
where did you see Xenoverse 2?
It's right at the
Oh,
bottom of
oh, I
D.
see,
What?
I see, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, yeah.
These are old games. What is this? I
I
mean,
didn't
yes,
know
there
that
are
that
some
was
new
coming
games.
to. I didn't know that was
Did
coming
you
to
did you
PS5.
look at the games before you sent this or?
I'm looking at this list.
I,
I'm
I,
looking at
I
it.
didn't see Xenoverse. I've been looking around and all through here, and I've seen some of them. Like the ones that stood out to me was like Warframe and Battlefield,
Thank goodness we're still
Borderlands.
going to be getting our Just Dance games. I was, ooh man,
Yeah, man.
I was
Well,
sweating bullets. I was sweating bullets on that one, really and truly.
just we know you're a big fan of Just Dance.
It's just amazing, just amazing.
So we actually got you a job at Ubisoft.
Quite
Because a lot of
awesome.
positions open up there recently. Not sure why,
Oh
but we
wow!
just got you a job there, and you're the official Just Dance tester.
Thank goodness that Poker Club is coming to
Did
PS5.
you
My
know Tool
goodness,
is
I'm
going
gonna
to be
tell
on
you,
there
Poker
too?
Club is, yeah, that was highly anticipated.
Anyways,
Um,
let's get off this list. Genesis, do you have any thoughts about Spider-Man's face?
I don't mind his face change, actually. I was just one of the people that when I saw the face change, I was like, I don't understand why, but I'm not, I don't hate it. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not one of the people who is going to go back and play the remastered version. I'm just more excited for Miles Morales. Like, I'm going to be playing that game more than I'm going to go back to play the remastered version. And
Well, he's
then
probably going to pop up in there.
I'm sure he
So,
will. I'm not denying the fact that he's not gonna, but you know, it just I don't have an opinion about it because
yeah.
it just doesn't bother me. Like most of the time we play Spider-Man, he's wearing a mask anyway.
True. Yeah, and the voice is going to be the same, so, like, it should
Yeah.
all
So what does it
be
really,
there.
what does it really matter at that point in time? But you know what, it is what it is. Whatever.
Yeah, and I know at first I'll be like, Mary Jane, why are you with this random man? Oh, that's Spider-Man, I forgot.
Mary Jane, you're not supposed to be with this man. Oh wait, no, that is the man you're supposed to be with.
So, but it's just so whatever at this point.
I don't know why
Like,
everybody's making a big deal out of it. It's not supposed
well,
to be.
it's the internet. Did you guys see the creative director Brian Intihar was like, "Hey guys, stop sending me death threats.
Yeah, I felt so bad for
Like
poor
we
guy.
care
That's
about the
ridiculous.
character.
Death
I
threats.
we know, yeah. Obviously,
You know,
crafting chat does not condone death threats. Don't
no,
do them
Please
to
don't do
anybody.
that.
no,
please.
don't do that. But I do have an interesting question to ask. That's kind of about that. It's like
Go ahead.
so people send their death threats for messing around with their games in that capacity, and I'm wondering. When Ubisoft gets exposed as being a company that runs its business in the fashion that has been made popularized as a result of recent news stories coming about the situation that happens at Ubisoft, or when game studios they get exposed for their crunch culture, or when other kind of things happen in the games industry, that is a little bit more deserving of scorn from the community. Why is it? I'm just curious if those companies ever receive any kind of vitriol, not specifically death threats, but if they get any kind of vitriol from the community as a result of something that is a little bit more deserving of that level of negative energy, as opposed to Spider-Man's face has been changed, and so now death threats. What?
I would say
What?
probably, but at the same time, the things you described don't change the look of a character's face. So even though like they're bigger issues in the world than changing a character's face, people care more about a character's face changing than a nameless employee. Like
And that's messed
that's
up.
the world. No, it totally
That's
is.
messed up.
Also, don't send death threats. Don't harass people. Just don't do that. Oh, Ubisoft, you listening? Don't harass. Remember?
Stop being a
Talk
bitch,
about
Ubisoft.
this.
Just stop
Talk
making
about.
sense of
Hey,
games.
hey, what are you doing? You've sworn like 15 times on here. I thought this was a no swearing cast. What are you doing? That was your rule.
I said that once. What do you mean 15 times? What
You
are the
swore
other
a
14
bunch.
times that I said?
Yeah, I think he's been. I
check
count.
the
My
tapes.
count was 3. My count was 3.
Oh, yours
for
was
this,
3.
I'll
Okay.
accept the
All
for
right.
this
Well,
episode.
the 3.
That's- Okay. Well, we'll accept a 3. All right. Well, maybe I multiplied it by 5. I don't know. Anyway, quick math by me. That's a record. You better turn back around. Turn your ass back around, motherfucker. Anyways, Ubisoft I know what you mean, and it's upsetting and it's annoying. Like if you're gonna get mad, like don't get mad at them for this. Like there's way bigger issues in the world, but also
Like, I didn't
people-
get a PS5
people
yet.
suck.
That's a giant issue.
yeah, send death threats to Walmart
Sony,
for
right,
sending
yeah,
that tweet
for
out.
that,
no,
yeah.
to Walmart for sending that tweet
Walmart.
out.
Walmart,
yeah.
I need to send some
And be like,
death
hey,
threats to.
community manager of Walmart's Twitter account, what happened to your life? Why are you here? But also,
Why are you alive? Why
stop
are
it.
you alive?
Yeah,
Why did
well,
your
don't
parents
do that.
waste
Well, hold on,
time?
hold on,
Just-
well,
just-
hold on. It's getting close to a death threat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Building up.
It's getting close. It's building up. Also, don't harass the community manager for Walmart, just in case you get inspired.
No. Do that, please, because he's the reason why so many people don't have a PlayStation 5 pre-order. Just harass him. Harass him and annoy him.
Or it could be her.
Her, it, them,
Or not.
however you want to associate them.
Or not.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Don't death threat people.
Unless they're from Walmart.
Nope.
My goodness.
But
There's a lot
yeah,
of bitterness. I feel, but it's a lot of mismanaged, misappropriated bitterness. It needs to be placed in the right places. It's just going to the wrong places.
I don't think it's bitterness that can be directed, because some of it is probably like a personal, deep-seated issue that you should probably seek help for. If you're sending a death threat to a man who was like, I want to make game development a little bit easier for us. Even if that's not the case, it's their choice.
Instead of death threats, let's go to some praise that a game is getting now with like Ghost of Tsushima, where they're just dropping free things. And
transition.
Let's change the mood up here.
Let's change the mood. Let's ghost it up.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited for this, not only because the multiplayer and I get to play with my boys who beat the game and own the game.
I can't wait to do this.
I'm also excited because New Game Plus, new trophies, also loadouts. Are you kidding me? That is something that's been requested, and it's like they're not going to add that, and they've added it. Like they were listening.
So how do the loadouts?
So good.
How does that like work?
So you can put like charms and stuff that get you like special perks basically, and then you can wear clothes and you could set them up so where like if you're going to do a stealth something, you could quickly switch to a loadout that has all your stealth stuff. But if you're just roaming around the world with like your traveler's outfit that helps you find all the collectibles, you can switch to that loadout that has all the like, hey, this helps you find the collectibles, and you also have a perk of like whatever you pick up gives you money, and the money you pick up is worth like 3 times as much. So you can switch to that loadout, and you can easily switch. Or if you're like walking up, you see a bunch of people, and you're like, do I want to stealth them? No, I want to duel them. So you switch to your samurai loadout, you walk up and you duel them. I am so excited, and especially to have that with New Game Plus. And the New Game Plus isn't the beginning of the game, they said. The New Game Plus starts after the right when you fell off the bridge, you get to that title screen. It's beautiful, immaculate. Giuseppe. It's so good.
That's the game you're missing out, man.
It's a goosebump title screen. You will get it and play it one day. But it's a goosebump inducing title. We know.
It's not for a lack of desire. Everyone knows.
We know. But I'm so excited. And then the multiplayer stuff, you get to pet a dog. What is it, the Ronin? You don't even care about the dog petting, but you still want to play as that class. You don't even want to play as the assassin. You lied to me.
No, I want to play as the assassin, but I don't mind swapping between the two if somebody else wants to pick up the assassin. But then Casey had clarified that you can do multiple of the same in one go. So I was like, oh wait a minute, so everybody can be an assassin?
Well, Casey didn't clarify that. The article clarified it. You got to read, man.
Oh right.
It's fundamental. I heard that.
But I want to play as a samurai. I'm so excited. I am so excited. Free content is always great, as previously mentioned earlier in the podcast by Giuseppe and myself. Free content is wonderful, and the amount of support for this game has been so nice. And they've added a photo mode to the group, and you gotta be. I'm not gonna lie, we're doing a squad selfie at some point.
Oh, we're doing it.
We gotta. I'm so excited for this. I've been saying I've been meaning to play Ghost again, and
You just were waiting for the New Game Plus to drop.
I was waiting for the New Game Plus, and at this point, I was getting to the point where it's like that might not come, but they never denied it like God of War did. They never were like, hey, New Game Plus trophies are not coming. They never said that. God of War did, but they were like,
they never did New Game Plus for God of War.
There is like a New Game Plus, but there's no trophies or anything associated with it.
There's trophies for the multiplayer and they specifically said it doesn't affect your platinum.
It's going to be a separate trophy list, which makes sense because I already have my platinum. That'd be weird if they took it away. I'd be pissed. But I hope they're not like dumb multiplayer trophies like Naughty Dog is with their multiplayer trophies. They're kind of trash.
Well, I don't think because we're not going to be able to access one set of the trophies for quite a bit of time, probably till maybe November or early December, because we're not going to get the raid right away. So
it's fine. They probably won't add those trophies until the raid is launched. Because that's typically how trophies work. They usually don't go up unless the content they're launched with goes up.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
So we'll get multiplayer trophies, and then the raid trophies will probably even be a separate list.
Just the fact that they're adding a raid. This is a samurai game, okay? Let me just put this into perspective. This is a game. This is a single player game where you're a samurai and you have to, you're just taking on multitudes of people. They're adding a raid mode into this with 3 other samurais that you can go around with. Like, what? this is like Destiny level raid mode.
It's nuts.
I was excited for it. I'm like, oh my
It's
god.
also super weird that it's not like an update. It's an update to the game, but then it also brings you to the store and you download it separately, but you have to own the game.
Yeah.
Yes, I think later on it's going to be some standalone that
That's very strange, but honestly, I was expecting them to be like, "Hey, multiplayer's coming in the fall. We'll announce more details." Okay, the details are the multiplayer's here. You get some trophies, have fun. But they were like, "You're getting that, and then you're getting this, then you're getting this, then you're getting that, then there's more than this." It's like, oh, feed me, daddy. You know what I mean?
The thing that sold me was the explanation of the classes. Like, they balanced the classes up so well in this, and I'm like, this looks amazing.
Well, we hope.
As well, from what I've read in the classes, they all have their own role to play. So they have their each, like, there's a range, there's just the tank, there is the healer, and then there's the stealth. So you have your 4 roles that you get to play. I mean, everybody could be whatever they want to be. We could have 4 tanks on the team. We could have 2 assassins, 2 tanks, or 2 samurais. It would just be whatever people want to play it as. But like the fact that they're adding, I don't even know what you would have as a raid boss. Like what would be a raid boss in this game?
Probably hordes of enemies.
Well, no, because that's what survival is for. That's the hordes of enemies.
I don't know that. I have no idea, and I'm so excited to find out by playing it. I'm just, it's going to be so good. But you have to beat the game. There's going to be a merchant that you meet. Also, new dyes are coming, and those dyes are awesome. Like, yep. I am hype. And Genesis, you're close to the end of the game, so you should be.
Yeah, I'm not too far.
Should be good.
Without spoiling anything for me, because I haven't played it yet, is there any fantasy elements to Ghost of Tsushima? Is it
yes
or
and
is
no?
Yes and no. Okay.
Like you hear about legends and then you kind of see them, but at the same time you slowly realize like, oh, this is why this legend was said this way. Like this isn't really a spoiler. It's a it's a mission.
Is going to be in the multiplayer because that's actually
that's actually fantasy stuff. But like in the main game, there's like a mission where it's like you get these 4 special moves, and you talk to this guy who tells you a story in like the infamous style cutscenes, and he goes long ago, and then he just says it. It's great. And he'll explain something where it's like, hey, this has a mystical power, and then you get it, and you're like, yo, like one of them is about lightning, but it's just you're super quick. So it's like it's called lightning because of how quick you are, but people believe in like the mystical power of it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, for argument's sake, you look like you're lightning striking.
Also, they've confirmed that in the multiplayer stuff, they're adding lightning to that strike because like actual lightning. So there's so many cool things like.
So then we can probably. Then we can probably expect that raid bosses will probably be some of the, amazing things that you see in games like a Ninja Gaiden or Sekiro.
Oh yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? Those kind of creatures.
So the multiplayer.
With the combat of this though, that'd be tough, I would think.
Well, here's the thing. Imagine this. Ready? So this game is said to take place in the demon world, the Oni world that we get thrown in, which is. They've clarified in the game you go to some guy who tells you very similarly to Yamato who tells you about the legends. You go to a guy and he says, hey, there's these other legends that are happening, and this from his perspective. And as soon as you talk to him, you get thrown into the demon world. And the demon world, there's other things that they haven't shown any enemy types. So there's these other things that we get to kill in the demon world. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that like a raid boss would be just one giant ass demon.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. That's why I'm so excited for it. There's so much that could be there, and no matter what's there, I'm ready for it.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
I'm gonna beat it.
Up and I'm good to go.
Gotta beat it. You're not ready yet. You gotta beat it. You gotta beat it. It's gonna be you and me. You gotta beat it. Gotta get our boy Kevy Bevy. He gotta beat it first. Call him Kevy Bevy because he has a drinking problem. And we gotta get Casey to beat it.
How far's Casey out from it?
Not far. He's still in Act 1. He plays like you, except like a blind horse.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha.
Like he's doing something.
Well,
like when Genesis plays an open world game, he's like, oh, I gotta go do this. I gotta go do this. When Casey plays an open world game, it's like he's a horse and he's blind because he'll run literally all over the map and accomplish about 2% of what he's covered. It's very strange. It's the weirdest way I've ever seen anybody play a game, but it's how he plays. It's how he prefers to play. So no, not
looks like it's gonna be me and you for the story missions though, because story missions are 2 people, and then the survival.
Me and you, and then I'll do it with Casey. I'll do it with Kevin. You do it with Casey. We're probably gonna do them all over the place. When Giuseppe gets the game, we'll do it with him. Are you kidding me?
I don't think I'll ever get tired of it.
Giuseppe gets the game. I'm joining the share play to watch him start playing the game. I'm in.
You know, this game has some sort of charm to it that I'll keep going back to it, and I'll just get engrossed in playing it again, and I'm like, why do I like this so much?
You know why? Because
I know why.
It's because it's going to be the game of the year. That's why. Oh,
I agree with that. I agree.
It will be a contender for sure. I'll tell you that much. So
unfortunately, I think Cyberpunk's going to take it this year if it ends up being the thing that
we've talked about it a little bit. We'll get more into it when nominations come out. We'll probably do our own little award show hosted by Giuseppe Jones. So,
oh boy,
I actually have an idea about that. We'll talk about that.
So we'll actually run our own award show.
Yeah. Like I'll tell you about it after. But
I can't wait.
We're almost at 2 hours here, so if anybody has any more to say about that, or if we want to jump to the rumors, or
let's jump. Let's jump.
By the way, real quick, talking about Jump, Eddie Van Halen, rest in peace.
Rip. That's right.
So.
Yep.
Anyways,
I was surprised that was their only #1 hit. I was like, really? Wow.
There's a lot of bands where I'm like, I love them, and then find out they never had a #1, or their only #1 hit is my least favorite song of theirs. Like,
right.
All right. But anyways, Genesis, you get what's the internet whispering this week?
Internet's whispering a couple things. So the first thing is Cory Barlog is talking about not directing, or there's rumors that he will not be directing Ragnarok. Instead, he's going to be going on his own for a project, which I think he's already confirmed that he is not going on a project, but things change, obviously. People change their mind. People say shouldn't change their mind. And instead, we're going to have... What's his...
Eric Williams.
Eric Williams, yes. Eric Williams for the director of Ragnarok that is coming out next year. That is one of the rumors that I have going on here. The other rumor that I have is apparently, and this is a Nintendo rumor, there is going to be a Pokemon Mega Collection that is going to be re-released for the Switch. And the proof that comes with this rumor is not a trademark. What's the other thing that they do? Not a patent or trademark, but like...
Copyright?
Copyright, that's what it is. For Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but it was for the Switch. And these games have already been remade for the DS, which, if we're going in chronological order of like the remakes, the next one should have been like Diamond and Pearl.
Are they remakes or like ports?
No, these are remakes. They're all remakes.
Like actual, like, fully from the ground up remakes?
Yep, from the ground up
right.
redone. Brand new sprites, usually expanded story, new features, taking things from like the games previously and implementing it in those that originally would have never had it. All the previous Pokemon are going to be in there, including all new ones that you were never able to see before because they existed in gens after.
That seems overly ambitious for Nintendo. I'm surprised by that.
It does seem overly ambitious.
It's going to be a cash grab, and if it's anything that I think it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be a Mario situation where they're going to be not remakes, but remasters.
Well, you just said they were remakes. What?
No, so to explain, the games that I'm talking about are remakes, but this Master Collection I'm talking about might be a compilation of all those remakes, and they'll just call it a remaster.
So you're telling me that they were remade on a different system and they're
Uh-huh.
being remastered for the Switch.
Correct.
Okay, my question was, are they being remade for the Switch?
Oh, I'm
That's what I
sorry.
was saying.
I
No, it's
thought
okay.
you were asking if those games were remakes of the originals.
I do not care if they were remakes on a different console. So, but I get where the confusion was. Ooh, throat kind of dried out there. I don't really play the Pokemon games. I don't like how Nintendo re-releases the same games over and over. Sony does that a little bit, but they also up-res them, or add trophies, or remake them, or whoever is making that crunchy stop, please. Um, oh, it's you. Your mouth is full and fun. Good, good, good casting.
I'm hungry.
That's fair. But yeah, I don't really care about this, like, at all. So, and
No,
the God
I
of War
figured this.
one, well, we'll talk about the God of War one after everyone else gets their opinion.
I don't. I stopped playing the Pokemon games after, I think, Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I really liked Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and then it was like, after I saw Sword and Shield, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. The amount of just stupidity in these games now, how they're charging $60 for just a game that they broke up now and removed content out of, and just they're like the epitome of Apple with iPhones. They just keep taking more things out and they charge people more. I don't understand this, and people just flock to buy it because it's Pokemon. I'm like, what? I don't.
That's the power of Pokemon. What can I say?
Unfortunately, that is the power of garbage.
It's power of Pine Sol, baby.
Word.
But yeah, that's my.
Seppi, you got any thoughts on this?
Yeah. I'm kind of like the last Pokemon game that I played was Black White 2.
What? I don't even know that one.
I borrowed Black White 2 from you to get some stuff, and then I gave it back to you, right?
I
don't remember if I did.
I don't know. I haven't opened the DS in a long time. And the last Pokemon game that I like enjoyed playing was not a proper one. It was actually that Pokemon Conquest game, the one that based on the Nobunaga's Ambition series, but using Pokemon to do the combat. That was actually a really cool spin-off game. I really enjoyed using the Pokemon in that fashion and like capturing them and leveling them up and what have you. Anyway, but yeah, I don't really care too much about Pokemon anymore. I would love to be convinced to care about Pokemon again with a brand new style of game, but with the same kind of core mechanics of catching them, raising them, leveling them up, training them, so on and so forth. But that would require a level of ambition from Game Freak and Nintendo, right? To get out of their formulaic, bare minimal input, extracting maximum profit model that they have going on with those game series, and actually, push a little ambition there. It just seems unreasonable to me how other major game franchises have tried to do much more over the life cycles of their game legacies to improve graphics, gameplay, mechanics, ambition, narrative, story. I mean, so many different transformations. Look, just take Metal Gear, for instance, as an example. Compare Metal Gear Solid 1 to Metal Gear Solid 5. My goodness, there's been a huge amount of evolution that's been going on there. And Pokemon's been around for all of those years. How much evolution has been happening there? So, I'm just saying,
and then backwards, basically, is what happened.
A lot of backpedaling too. I don't understand that, and I honestly don't understand how anyone else should tolerate that kind of stuff. I mean, hey, a Pokemon game is a Pokemon game.
It's just they just flock to it no matter what. Like I said, it's like the godforsaken iPhones of gaming.
That's pretty appropriate. Yeah.
I got one more
Cool.
small little thing. I don't know how much is. I figured this might matter more to you guys. So you remember that Superman game that was shown at one point that Rockstar was apparently working on, or Rocksteady, not Rockstar, Rocksteady, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Um, that
I
was
don't remember it
I
being
guess,
shown.
or the screenshot of it shown, or something. Something was shown with him flying around, or him as a model in a menu, and that was like the Superman game that they're working on. So a rumor is going around that that game was what Suicide Squad to Kill the Justice League is now. And Bizarro would have been the main villain of that game had that game still been in production.
Bizarro, huh?
I mean, it makes sense. Like, why not logically move the assets from that to that?
What's your opinion on Bizarro being a main villain for a Superman game, though?
Oh, well, that's a mistake.
I agree that
Definitely
would be
a
a
mistake.
mistake because it's like, what's your opinion about Batman being the villain for a Batman game? Like, what is
Oh,
Batman?
because Bizarro you have to enlighten
He's
me on the
literally
timeline.
opposite Superman. He's opposite
Yeah.
Superman. He has heat, breath, and cool vision, and he can fly. He's borderline disabled in the
Right.
brain department.
Yeah.
Super strong, kind of a nice guy.
Misunderstood.
Yeah, misunderstood. It literally would not make
He's not.
any.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he wants to be Superman, but he's too dumb to be Superman.
he's a gimmick character.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
like it's
And
not. I
gimmick-
wouldn't want that at all.
Yeah, gimmick
Yeah, no, I
characters
figured
don't
I'd get the
make for
opinion
good.
just to know.
But I like it makes sense, and we've talked about the Suicide Squad to Kill the Justice League game,
And also,
all
but
that, so.
but incorporating any kind of Superman is a very difficult character to handle in entertainment. Less so in films, but also still difficult. More so in games because whether you're controlling Superman or you're fighting against Superman, there's a significant discrepancy in power levels that's going on, regardless of who else you throw into the mix. So even so unless you're basically going to surround Superman with Superman level characters exclusively, you're talking about your Darkseids, you're talking about your Brainiacs, Spectre, you know what I mean, basically god tier, Dr. Manhattan, god tier characters. Nobody else that's on that level is really going to be relevant to that game, because otherwise, or you have to throw some nonsense into the game to explain why Batman can suddenly punch Superman in the face, and that actually matters. You know what I mean?
He's got a suit of metal.
Yeah, whatever. But I mean,
Kryptonite.
but
The
that's
answer
just
is kryptonite.
The answer is right. Yeah, but
Always green for some reason.
It's
Even though
always
there's like
green, yeah.
9 million colors. But whatever.
That's a thing. Yeah, but I mean, like that's what makes it very, very difficult to make a Superman game go. You know what I mean? Like that. All of that has to make sense. It has to coalesce for the player. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, you can still play it, and yeah, it still might be fun to play, but then you still have this understanding in the back of your mind. It's like, I'm pretty sure that Harley's giant hammer weapon is not really gonna matter if it's being swung on Superman, and really shouldn't. So, but here it is. I'm doing the attacks combo move, and obviously it's having an effect. So I'm gonna keep on playing again. So yeah, it's odd. I think there are definitely some characters that you just plain can't use in a meaningful way. It's another thing if he's an NPC in a game. You know what I mean? Where he's not really affecting the gameplay in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, Superman as a character, playing as or against, nah.
One day somebody will figure it out and we'll be happy. But I'm still waiting because we got them SSDs for a Flash game now. Because you could run super fast, and I'm like, I'm waiting, I'm ready for it. Come on now. So,
I got one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is as of yesterday. Year one roadmap for Watch Dogs Legions includes Assassin's Creed crossover. So I guess this game is introducing a character called Darcy. Um, Darcy is a member of the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood that has the exact symbol and everything that the assassins have, and she's wearing like a very similar costume, and she appears as a main character in the game. This is the producer talking about this, saying the AC crossover has been a long time for us in the making as a team. We're working with the Assassin's Creed team to bring the idea of a female assassin to Legion, and the connections that you've made across the two games. So I'm assuming Watch Dogs 1, Watch Dogs 2, and then into this, are finally going to come into play in this game. Okay.
Okay, so that is an interesting thing. It would make I would be moved a little bit more by it if I cared about either of those IPs anymore.
I don't care about either of those.
I can tell you right now, it's not an interesting thing. This will lead to nothing.
I agree.
Because I don't know if anybody remembers, Assassin's Creed 1 stuff was also in the first Watch Dogs. You would literally hack somebody's phone and it'd be like, member of an Assassins, or blah, 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 like references, or like help make the game Assassin's Creed, or works for that fake company. Yeah, like Easter egg stuff. This literally means nothing. It literally means absolutely nothing, because I guarantee you that Darcy, she may appear in an Assassin's Creed game in the future. She'll play completely differently. They're two separate things, and Ubisoft is not trying to create a game universe that actually works. They're just trying to do Easter eggs and be like, hey, year one map, look forward to, you like Assassin's Creed, you're upset about Watch Dogs still, but hey, look, Assassin's Creed is in Watch Dogs. Right. Means nothing. So,
yeah, just because they're trying to make all their games actually look and feel like they're the same game doesn't actually mean that they're going to make them all share the same cinematic universe.
Yeah, if you're excited for Watch Dogs Legion because you're an Assassin's Creed fan, don't get your hopes up. It could be something cool, but it's just going to be a glorified Easter egg. It's really not going to amount to anything. It's not like you have to play a Watch Dogs, you have to play an Assassin's Creed to understand the stories that are going on. It's literally just there. Like, I'm sure eventually they'll be like, hey, this assassin eventually has a child named Aiden Pierce. Like, whoa! Crazy! Like, assassins are good with technology. That's why Aiden Pierce is there. Blah, 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 blah. Like, that's a nothing. That's a nut. Yeah, exactly. It was a good impression of him. Aiden Pierce. That's a nothing. And also, is that a rumor? I thought that was literally something that the producer said or whatever.
That's what the quote says. But I don't see a source link for it, so I can't say if it's real or not.
Good for you. Good for you for checking your I's and dotting your T's or whatever.
My eyes.
Yeah, you certainly knows what I meant.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So, any other rumors?
That's it for me for this week.
Any other stuff? You got a phrase of the week or any of the usual?
The phrase of the week is, well, we'll just say in honor of movie theaters perhaps going the way of the dinosaur even faster than we had probably thought they were or predicted that they would get or be. The phrase of the week is going to be keep the faith, and hopefully 2020 will end and we won't have so much bad juju to basically affect everyone. But man, definitely like to see keep the faith that theaters will survive in some way, shape, or form, that the event film blockbuster, the thing that we were talking about earlier, where you like to go to a place and have that shared experience with real people. Hopefully it doesn't die and is gone for good, and hopefully it'll find a way to survive. So just keep the faith that it does, and hopefully it does. We can hope. We can pray. But just keep the faith, because it would be a sad thing to see that go away altogether. Like,
I agree,
all
but
the way.
that was also a long phrase. So let's try to shorten that down for next time.
Yeah. Nah.
All right.
Nah.
We'll do our own thing. All right, Giuseppe, take us home.
Well, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, well, that would be episode 10, the end of episode 10 for Crafting a Chat. It was nice to have this little moment with you, just to talk a little bit with you amongst ourselves, and hopefully we'll do a better job next week to get a little bit surer subject matters, get a little bit more structure in there, and just get it nice full. Although we didn't lack for any kind of content,
I
conversation.
think it went well, especially that theater talk in the beginning.
I was gonna say the toothpaste talk was the best one, I think, out of the whole thing.
I mean, we'll save that. We gotta save that for next time. That Giuseppe's take the sick day or whatever.
I can feel Giuseppe just staring at me through the screen. Like
I will definitely say that if you guys ever do this again, degenerating into toothpaste conversation, really, oh
I really
goodness.
think that's why people come back, for the toothpaste content.
For the toothpaste.
They could tell in the pilot, they could tell in this episode that we're the #1 channel for toothpaste content. And I'm not going to lie, 5 out of 5 dentists recommend us.
Is that
and
so?
You know what? They also recommend you go on twitch.tv/craftingachat and follow us and pay us and like us and all you got to do for us. Also youtube.com/craftingachat.
Or just search Crafting a Chat.
Crafting a Chat for you. And
doctors also recommend that. 5 out of 5 doctors recommend that.
I uploaded a Crafting a Chat from my perspective, but go to those channels. If you want to find me, search for me. You'll find me eventually. It doesn't really matter. I'm not plugging myself. So, yeah.
And there you go. And so there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Have a fine evening. Have a fine rest of your week. Be good to each other. And bye-bye.